vast majority of patients with the new coronavirus recover successfully without needing serious medical attention. So how many people recover and what helps? The WHO estimates at least 80% of COVID-19 patients have mild cases of the illness. In these cases, hospitalization is likely unnecessary, and the virus feels more like a cold than a deadly disease. Symptoms include fatigue, light fever, and a dry cough. Even in more serious coronavirus infections, most cases are not fatal. Officials are still working to determine the true mortality rate. Current data suggests it could be around 3%, but many experts stress the data is still very incomplete. The true mortality rate could be under 1%. That's much lower than some early estimates that were as high as 5%. There is no cure yet for the new coronavirus, but there are some general recommendations for recovery. Get lots of rest, make sure to drink fluids. Painkillers and cough medication can help relieve symptoms. But don't take antibiotics, they won't help. It's still unclear whether existing antiviral medications could be effective. Scientists are trying to figure that out. So, let's say you've recovered. Does that mean you're immune from getting the new coronavirus again? Unfortunately, that might not be the case. There have been isolated cases of patients testing positive again after seeming to recover. But how should we interpret those results? Doctors say it could mean one of several things. The coronavirus might lie dormant in patients before causing symptoms again. Or testing irregularities might have just made it seem like the virus was gone when it wasn't. As with many aspects of this new ailment, the definite answer is not in yet. But one thing's clear: reports of reinfection are very rare thus far.
From the SKO Media Group studio in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, it's time for the Some Kind of Radio Show, starring Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew. Call in or text to 234-200-5110. That's 234-200-5110. Now, here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to a very special edition of Some Kind of Radio Show tonight. Our coronavirus special.
Yeah, we're not saluting it.
No, we're not saluting it.
No.
We are talking about
We
it
are
tonight.
discussing it tonight.
We are discussing tonight.
It's been a crazy week.
It's been a crazy few days.
Yeah.
I mean, just for sure.
When I started the week on Monday, I did not imagine by Friday that everybody would be freaking out, stocking up on toilet paper. Now, tell me, people, what's the deal with toilet paper and the virus? It doesn't make you. It doesn't give you.
I don't.
The shits.
It doesn't make sense to me either, and it's you know, people are overreacting. I mean, this is my opinion, and it's no one, because there's a lot of people going to say this thing is real. Well, no shit, it's real.
It is real.
People are getting it.
Yeah,
we know that. There's cases documented. Matter of fact, here in the area we live in, Summit County, there was a press conference. I guess there was an Akron teacher supposedly contracted it. They're showing no symptoms, but they were showing
Positive test
results.
And here's the thing. As we look at it, you look at things over the last, between Ebola, the H1N1, the avian flu, the swine flu. You look at all this crap, and everybody's like, well, you're not making a big deal of it. Okay, it could spread easy. The flu, the same as the flu or anything.
Right.
98% of these people that are catching it, that are regular healthy individuals, are recovering. So it's got a very high mortality rate as far as, a survival rate from it.
Yes. I mean, it's most of the cases have been known to be mild. I mean, yes, there's been some deaths.
Yeah.
And it's no doubt it's real.
Yeah.
We know it's here. It's probably going to peter out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Viruses will, they love the cold weather. Okay. I mean, there's some cases in Florida, but here's the thing. My opinion, I think we've overreacted to an extreme level here.
Yeah. They're canceling classes.
I mean, it started with the NBA the other night.
We're suspending games.
They suspended the season. That was the catalyst for everything else starting to shut down.
Yeah, NHL. They've postponed the Masters.
Yeah, they postponed the Masters. They shut down originally the plan was they were going to do March Madness without any crowds.
Yep.
That went by the wayside. The tournament's done for the
Yeah.
first time since first time they haven't played since 1940?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Baseball season delayed.
Baseball season delayed at least 2 weeks.
yeah. Because
Spring training is done.
Yep. Because like when I had heard about the NCAA, is all the big power conferences were going to just cancel their tournaments.
Yeah.
And then whoever ended up at the end of the season, the winner of the conference, that was going to be the automatic bid to the dance.
Right.
Which made sense. Because, I mean, unlike football, football's got one game for the conference title. Basketball's tourney-wise. So you could be crappy Vanderbilt in the SEC, have a great run in the SEC tournament, win the SEC, and go to the dance.
Right.
But then, of course, the team that ended the season with the regular title, blah, 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 is still going to get a bid because they're ranked. But no baseball.
Right. No baseball.
No baseball. NHL, NBA have both postponed the remainder of the seasons. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're going to cancel. I mean, they can run a little bit later if they have to. If they had to run another 2 weeks to a month later, no big deal. The golfing events, normally the Masters is played Easter weekend. Mm-hmm. Because Augusta National Country Club shuts down over summer. They don't run over summer.
Right.
So, I mean, so they're going to have to postpone all that. NASCAR races are all postponed.
Which that one I don't get. Like you don't have to have fans for a NASCAR race.
No, you don't have to have fans for anything.
But I mean, like if you're a lot of sports are pushed by players say, oh, it's better to have fans. They motivate us. You're in a car with mostly soundproof. You can't hear the fans.
No,
so
it's going to be televised anyway, and everyone's going to watch it anyway. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and then we're getting down to the local levels. 3 states, including Ohio, shut down K through 12 schools for the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. Let's protect the kids, but here's the thing, and here's the way they're looking at it. I think it's because the kids aren't contracting it, but they can carry it.
Yeah.
And that's the issue there.
Concern.
That's the concern there. I get it. I mean, when it comes to the kids, matter of fact, I called my kids off school today. I was like, if they're going to be off for 3 weeks, and they were supposed to go half a day today anyway. It was on their schedule.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm not sending you for half a day. Just you're on vacation now. And I want to thank our chat moderator, Victoria, who has jumped on there, and she put her welcome out to the folks that are joining us on the program here on YouTube. If you'd like to call into the program, we'd love to get your take on what's going on in the world.
Yep.
The telephone number, and it's right on the screen, 234-200-5110. We'll put you right through. We'd love to hear from you tonight. We're going to be discussing this for the next 3 hours. This is going to be a very different edition of the show tonight. This is not our usual joke around,
Fun
shoot
and
the shit show.
jocularity. Yeah.
Exactly. We're going to talk about this tonight.
And, and like, the high schools have canceled it. I know the first college that I had heard this week was OSU was canceling classes at least through spring break. And then thereafter, for at least a couple weeks, they were going to do online instruction.
Right.
Now, and then, of course, locally, Kent State and University of Akron have followed suit. Mm-hmm. Now, I heard today in the coffee shop that I was at that Kent State's going to go online instruction the remainder of the semester.
Right.
However, and there's a big however here.
Big however.
Big however, because like Kent State and Akron both have very big performing arts departments that cannot do online instruction.
Right.
Very big medical programs between the nursing programs and whatnot. You cannot do that as online instruction. You have labs. Mm-hmm. The initial thing was the dorms were going to let you stay because there's a lot of people that have no resources to go home.
Right.
And they've got to go a distance home. Well, now the dorms are going to pretty much make people move out by spring break.
Yeah.
However, Akron U hasn't announced yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went all online through the remainder of the semester.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They are?
They are, yeah.
They
My
actually
buddy
are.
goes there, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you. So if they're going to go all online, then so we have that, and like I was looking forward to, as an Uber driver, tomorrow, Saturday, being the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day. Kent students are usually pretty big partiers.
Right.
They call it Fake Patty's Day. That's their day to
Right.
celebrate.
Right.
Now I was out last night. I took a chance going out. Normally Thursdays are busy, but with a lot of the kids being at Splitsville, which is not the case, because like in Kent, only the underclassmen live on campus.
Right.
Because everybody else, if you're not living in a fraternity house, you're living in an off-campus apartment. Off-campus apartments are not offering you any kind of refund, and you're in a lease until the end of May.
Yeah. You're there.
You're there. So they're staying. A lot of them have off-campus jobs or on-campus jobs or whatever.
Right.
So everything tomorrow is set. It might be a milder version of what it has been in years past.
Right.
And the fraternity houses are supposed to have permission to throw parties. Please.
Yeah.
So that's not likely to happen for them to obey their, they got told no, but there's still going to be festivities.
Yeah.
Bars will still be busy downtown.
Here's the thing, I talked to us about this off the air. Mike DeWine, our governor in the state here, made an announcement yesterday that there will be no public gatherings of any groups
over 100.
over 100. Okay. Now here's what actually bothers me about that. Okay. It's select groups. It's not all groups. Not every group. There's office buildings. Hey, guess what? You got more than 100 in there.
Yep.
Let's see what else bothers me about that. Churches
Yep.
are allowed to be
Doors.
They're allowed to have their doors open.
And you want to know a sidebar too, real quick? When you said churches, Friday fish fry.
Yeah.
Everything I'm hearing on the radio today, they're only doing carry out because
Yeah, they don't want to have anybody there.
they don't want to have anybody there. They're still they still plan on cooking up a whole mess because
Yeah.
that's what people look forward to during Lent. Those that obey it
Yes.
is going in and eating your church's filthy fish.
Yeah.
Trust me, churches don't have to have the same health standards everybody else does. They get their pass.
We're
But,
going in a feed. Okay, thanks, Victoria. I'll check into it. Thank you.
But yeah, so and a lot of the churches are like, we're still going to have the dinners, but it's going to be on a carry-out basis
That should
only.
fix it. That should fix it right there. Let me know, Victoria. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, so that's what. So a lot of the churches and local fish fries, because they depend upon it on funds. They depend upon it on funds for operation of the church. So they're still holding the fish fries, but they're not letting you in. It's just if you want one, okay, I'll take 4, and you're going to take them to go and go home and eat them. So instead of having what's the word I'm looking for here? Instead of having like the
Communion. No.
well, not even that. I'm trying to remember the word of just like, instead of having like the gathering of people, that you kind of the fellowship.
Sure, the fellowship.
A fellowship of people, instead of having going there and enjoying the meal with them and having a fellowship with everybody. Well, no, go home. Mm-hmm. Go home and sit around with your 3,000 rolls of toilet paper and. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
This pisses me off to no end, to watch and see social media too. That seeing all these people that are sitting there posting, okay, well, you might not like our current president, but and I saw one guy that was he's just like, well, the reaction. I'm like, we didn't get even a response out of Obama when we had the H1N1. Nothing.
I know why we were echoing. The camera microphone was picking us up too.
Oh, it was.
So I'm like, I had to turn that off.
Echo.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we should be good now. What I did, we've had some issues with the system.
Okay.
I actually reset this whole thing and kind of started over from scratch. So that was kind of a little bear with me there thing, but. We're going to be good on your recording here because I've recorded it separately, so we should be good.
Okay. Well, that gives me a chance to plug the fact that we will be airing this on Cuyahoga Valley Radio Network
On Tuesday night.
on Tuesday night from
right.
8 to 11.
That's right.
You can listen at CuyahogaValleyRadio.com, Simple Radio app, or Live 365 app.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, like I said, we have so much to discuss tonight. But, you know, going back to what I was talking about with the governor. Now, see, I work in the bowling business, okay? And there's some centers that are like, oh, we can't have our leagues in because we 100 people. I get it. But you know what? You still have just as much of getting it with 100 people in the room as opposed to 200 people in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's what I take thing if it was across the board, I would actually be okay, fine. Nobody can do it. I'm not even churches. Fine, you know, and I have nothing wrong with church. I'm an ordained minister. A lot of you didn't know. I'm an ordained minister. I'm a licensed wedding officiate. No, yeah, Victoria. It was the camera mic was picking us up too. Hey, Billy Dees, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you on the chat. I got the chat up on the screen, which is nice to see. Got the phone lines are open again, 234-250-110.
The one thing with this, and I don't want to say the scary thing, but it's a thing. You could have it and not even know you have it.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of truth. There's some people that are there's no symptoms, you know, for some people. Some people are asymptomatic, you know, and there's people that are getting it and they're like, "Oh God, I'm down," you know.
Like the younger you are,
the younger you are, the better chance you are, and the healthier your immune system is. You know, people are high risk as elderly folks, people with asthma, people with heart conditions. Myself, I'm in that high risk candidate because I'm asthmatic. And
I think I saw from like the age of 20 to like 38 is like if you have it, you probably won't show symptoms.
Yeah.
But you could still have it. So you could be infecting people and not even know.
And that's the thing. You know, you're not allowing people, you know, but you can go to the grocery stores. There could be hundreds of people in the grocery stores.
Oh,
you can bump it. And that's the other thing, you know.
That's because the people rotate in and out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
But still, it doesn't take, but, you know.
I'm not backing that. I'm just.
But there's hundreds upon hundreds going through in a day. It doesn't take much for someone to sneeze or cough and transmit it.
No.
So, I mean, I still have the problem with the congregational thing. I don't agree with it.
No.
Suddenly, you know, like I said, I woke up in Ohio yesterday morning. Suddenly, I'm in Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I get it. I get it, folks. I get it.
And what's the governor going to do anyway? We have our First Amendment right to right to peaceful assembly.
Exactly. I mean, is it even constitutional?
He can suggest that we don't.
Yeah, but he signed an order. Is that order even? How does that even get? That's what I want to know. How does it even get enforced? Are they going to go around from business to business like bowling centers? They're going to go to this. They're going to go here and go there. Oh, you have more. They're going to start counting people.
They're going to go to the casino and throw everybody out.
That's the other thing. Are they going to shut down the casino?
No,
of course not. There's probably going to be hundreds of people in there. So, and that's okay?
That's tax revenue right there.
Exactly.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Right. Someone was talking about it today I've heard it on the radio. I've heard it on chats. I've been following chat groups all day on this thing. I've been listening to the radio. I've been watching the news, and you hear all well, they're not shutting the casinos down.
Nope.
And you know, there's more than 100 people in the casino at any given time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a larger space. Well, no, the governor said any outdoor space, any indoor space, 100, you got to have 100 or less.
Yep.
And if you got more than 100, nope.
No, I thought it was only non-open air.
No, it's open air. It's everything, even indoor or outdoor. So how are you going to enforce it? I mean, you have 88 counties in this state. How in the hell are you going to enforce it? What are you going to do? Start getting law enforcement, start checking it out? You know, and it's like,
too bad this crap won't last till May 4th. so
Yeah.
it could cancel Jane Fonda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Kent State can't. Yeah, they're gonna have nobody there to listen to Jane Fonda.
I mean, here's the thing. The way some people are talking, it's like there was a doctor on the feed that was, let's see, Channel 3 covered it today, was the Akron press conference.
Yeah.
Just one doctor's acting like, oh, this is going to be around for the next year and a half. The way this one doctor was on with the city of Akron, he's like, oh, we're not going to have testing available for at least another month here in the Summit County.
Oh, by the way, did you also see?
They're going to start the drive-through things. It'll be a month. Okay, but you're going to stop all these bans in 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, none of this is making sense. Well, here's the question I pose.
And where they're having those drive-through things, they're having them in store parking lots that are already busy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean,
And here's the thing. Here's the question I'm going to throw out there. What does the government know about this that they're not telling us?
Yep.
That's what I want to know. Why all this panic? Why? What did they know that they're not telling us now?
It's funny. This whole thing started in China.
Yeah.
I think China's a little pissed about their tariffs and the trade.
Here's the thing. It came from China. I'm not going to say it was a Chinese. There's a lot of people saying they're blaming China. It could have happened. They say it was caused from bats.
Because the Chinese will eat anything that doesn't eat them first.
Right. I mean, so my daughter's like, did some Chinese guy eat a bat and get sick and then give it to everybody? I mean, that could have happened. Mm-hmm. We don't know. I mean, but if you go back to, someone else brought up the thing. Oh, it always happens during an election year. You're right. You go back to it's even years, something going on. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago was Ebola. Before that, it was H1N1. Well, that was like what? 2010. Then you had the bird flu. And it was pig flu, swine flu, and then it all happened. But did anything get shut down over any of this stuff? No, we all lived our lives. What's that?
H1N1 was the swine flu.
I know.
Okay.
I know. H1N1 swine flu. But, we're just throwing these different flus out and different viruses. But, why is all this panic now? Here's the thing, and here's my thought, and this is my theory. And correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody wants to debate this, call into the show. We'd love to hear from you at 234-250-110. I will be more than happy to debate this. In this day and age, the 21st century, the year 2020, okay? Social media and the national media, all that is so intertwined now.
Yep.
Social media and the media intertwined like crazy. The national media, meaning your CBS, NBC, ESPN. Well, they're just about as bad anymore. ABC, CBS, MSNBC, Fox,
CNN.
Okay, that's your national media, okay? They sensationalize these stories and they give the public commentary. They give commentary on stories.
Yep.
That's what today's media is. Commentary, social commentary. What happened to the days of just reporting the facts?
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, everyone's got to have a voice. It's a free country. Everyone's got to have their voice. But all this is intertwined with social media now. Every news person has a social media account. They're on there. And then, of course, everyone shares it. Then, of course, everyone gets their opinions. It's so freaking...
The biggest issue with media today is everybody wants to be first. They don't want to be accurate.
And I was getting to that point. Forget accuracy. They want to be first. Good example of accuracy. Okay, let's go back to 1963. John F. Kennedy was assassinated.
Yep.
Okay, the other networks were reporting Kennedy was dead before Walter Cronkite. Excuse me. Cronkite refused until he got official word to announce Kennedy was dead.
Yep.
Refused, even though the other networks put it out there 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, if you watch some of that, it's on YouTube. You watch some of that, he goes, I am not going to make any statements on this until I have solid facts.
Yep.
And that's what the media does not do today. They want to be first. They want to get the headline. And, of course, they want to sensationalize it. And you know what all this doing? It creates a panic. Today's people, the people in the 21st century today, panic.
I don't remember what the story was, but ABC had a case last year where they reported something that was so false, they had to suspend their reporter because there was so much backlash from them trying to be first, but so falsely inaccurate.
Right.
I'll give you a line. Remember in Men in Black? You know why they haven't told the public?
Yeah, you know, the person is smart. People are dumb and
People
scared.
are dumb, yeah.
People are panicky, and that's why people, like, all people as individuals are smart.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not everybody, but what I'm getting at is, like, you know, I think mostly the general population will say, "Oh yeah, this is all being this is being overdone. This is," but you get a group of people together, it's Panicsville.
Yeah.
Everybody's freaking out. And then you get the media behind it who doesn't know how to report something like this. All they're going is, oh, my God, it's the end. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Oh, my God. Everyone's getting sick. Everyone's dying. Look at the damn death rates. It's
minute.
It's minute.
Look at the stock market. Up, down. Somebody first time
gas prices have come down. Everything's tanking. But, you know, except for the grocery stores, they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
Because they're selling out of everything.
But, yeah, and I see people on Facebook, oh, yeah, this country's going to go bankruptcy, or go bankrupt. Our global economy is just going to collapse now because of this virus. You know, sell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now's the best time to buy stocks.
There's people's 401ks are crashing right now over this. This is ridiculous,
but it'll rebuild. Because places are like, there's
more people right now dying from influenza.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, you know why they don't freak out about influenza? Because it's been out there for so long. It's been there forever. The flu's been around forever. It's not a sexy disease like coronavirus or COVID. A new name. If they attach a new name to the flu, you know what? They would. Oh my God! Everyone's dying from the flu. It's so freaking, I'm so sick of hearing about it. And of course, they're going to say, well, you're talking about, sure, I'm going to speak my mind. I have an opportunity. I have an outreach. I have a platform. I have an audience. We have an audience. We're going to talk to our people and say, hey, what do you think? This is our chance to talk to you. Let's talk to the everyday folks out there and say, hey, what do you really think? I mean, you hear so many people, oh, my God, I'm so sick of reading on Facebook. Oh, it's so bad. No one's taking this seriously. Believe me, everyone takes this seriously. But what I don't take seriously is how overreact.
Yes.
How everyone's so overreacting over this thing. People and that's just how I feel about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm right, which I think I'm right. But I could be wrong. Are we overreacting? I think we are.
Yes.
I think we are absolutely overreacting. I think this country is overreacting. We have it's mostly, the epicenter of this is in Europe. They announced that today. The epicenter of this whole thing is Europe.
It's Italy, and guess why? They have the biggest population of elderly people.
Yes.
And
how many in the traditional Italian home, everyone kind of lives together. The grandparents and the parents and the kids. I mean, and you see 3, 4, 5, 4 generations in the same home.
Yeah.
And that's Italy. Mm-hmm. So of course it's
and they're wondering why, over in Europe, it's just like their biggest thing is, they can't get everything out. I mean, their medical care, everything's socialized.
Right.
So, it's tough. You just can't go in. I got to get treated for this.
Yeah.
You got to wait, and you could die of it, untreated.
Yeah. I mean, if you it's just like the flu. I mean, I remember a couple years ago, I got the flu, and I got it bad. Okay. I mean, I got it real bad. I got so sick, I was hospitalized with the flu 2 or 3 years ago. And I was in the hospital for 4 days with the flu. The flu turned into pneumonia for me. Okay? So I was sick. But you know what? I got over it because I was treated. I got antibiotics in me or antivirals or whatever they gave me. They treated it. You know, they gave me the breathing treatments I needed. They gave me the medicine I needed. They kept an eye on me for a couple of days. It took me like 3 days after I got to the hospital. After about the 4th day, I was like, hey, I'm starting to really feel better again. So they sent me home, and I got over it. You know, but there's more people dying from the flu than this. I think this is just being over sensationalized by the media. Again, it all started, you know, the NBA said, okay, we're shutting down. Great. Then after that, March Madness. And then all of a sudden, everything starts shutting down. It's a chain reaction. All it takes is one major event, one celebrity or sports figure to get this. You know what? Because Tom Hanks has it. Now, I was watching, what was it, Fox News the other night.
Wait, have they confirmed that he had it?
Tom Hanks confirms he has it.
Okay.
Tom Hanks confirmed on Twitter that he has it. In his own Twitter. He confirmed himself that he was tested and has it. But here's the thing. I was watching on the national media. I was watching Fox News. And one of the anchors on there goes, you know, now it really feels real because Tom Hanks has it. Just because somebody that you never knew in your life, you're never going to meet Tom Hanks.
Because no one I don't care about, or someone I don't care about has it, so it doesn't matter. But,
exactly, but it's a person that I've watched him. You know, I watch a message, I watch a video, or I watch his movies for so. You know what? I'm a huge Tom Hanks fan. You know, and I think he's good, and he's probably going to be okay. I mean, he goes, "Hey, we got tested, we're getting the treatment, we're going to be okay." You know, and he's being very calm about it. But this lady on Fox News, she's like, oh, now it feels real because Tom Hanks has it. What about the other people that's got it? Just because you don't know their names? Come on, folks. It's real anyway. We know it's real. I mean, I know I'm kind of like, we know it's out there, okay? We know it's there. It's not going anywhere right now. It's going to get probably a little worse before it gets better.
It's just pure ignorance to say, oh, it feels real now that Tom Hanks has it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. The media, the national media, sensationalizing this. Oh, it feels so real now because Tom Hanks has it. Come on. I mean, then you got the NBA players that have it. Oh, now it feels real because two Utah Jazz players has it. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Then the one to go, you know, jokingly touch everybody's mic.
Thanks, Victoria. Appreciate it. Thanks for the share. Victoria is our chat moderator here on our link. And thank you so much, Victoria, for moderating the chat and keeping things going and lively there. But, you know, it's just so unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never imagine in a million years there's no sports. Mm-hmm. There's no sports. The only sport rolling right now still is the PBA bowling, and they're gonna tape all their finals here for the World Series of Bowling without an audience. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna finish the tournaments.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna stop everything because they can't just stop and go, well, done. We'll go back. I mean, so they're gonna finish the tournament. They're gonna tape all their shows, no audience, and that's fine. I get it. But beyond that, there's no sports right now. There's nothing for people to do right now. That's the thing. People are sitting here going, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? People looking out the window, what do we do? And it's funny. Here's the funny thing. Everyone's so worried about going out. I'll tell you what, I was out all day doing stuff, and there was plenty of traffic on the road. People are everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So most people are, at least in this area, going, hey, I got a life to live. I'm not stopping what I'm doing. And you can't, what are they going to do? Martial law? I know I'm jumping all over the place, but this whole thing's got me so freaking in a frazzle over it because, you know, what are they going to do? Institute martial law? I mean, it sounds like what the wine's already starting to do. Oh, you know, hey, 100 people or more. You know, I'm waiting for them to put a ban on any events. I'm waiting for that to come. I'm waiting on that to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like looking on here, and it's like, the president declared a national emergency over it. You know why he did that? So we can release some funds to help people.
Yes. And you're going to get people bitching about that.
Yeah.
And folks, here's the deal.
And when you said bitching about that, let me do it real quick. Just a slight thing. I'm in a group about about Kent happenings because I work out there. and the big thing, these people are like, well, how are if school's called off, how are my kids going to eat?
Okay.
How are they going to eat?
John Sinsel just texted me.
Okay.
2 tidbits for me to announce on the air. 1, West Virginia and Idaho are the last 2 states with no known COVID-19 cases. And 2, an agreement was just reached between Congress and the president for aid on COVID-19.
Yep.
And, okay, I correct that. Apparently, Idaho just got confirmed with a case. So West Virginia is the last state in the union not to have a COVID-19
Congratulations,
case.
John.
Congratulations, John.
Yeah.
Oh, you're West Virginian. The rednecks are. There's so much inbreeding in West Virginia. There's probably no problem down there.
Yeah,
so.
there's like 3 strains of DNA in West Virginia.
Yeah, right. So it's probably maybe the tip for is go send the CDC into West Virginia and get some of the West Virginian DNA or whatever and make just kind of maybe make some immunity from the West Virginian folks. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just. Let's see. On the chat here, let's see. That's right. Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson, also was confirmed with it. Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer god, has been tested for exposure to it. I mean, it's out there, folks. We know it's there. But at the same time, it's... I just don't understand this. Let's shut the whole damn world down over this thing. I just don't get it because I know myself. I'm not going to live in a damn bubble.
No, I mean, like I was saying real quick about the.
We got a call.
Okay.
Hold your thought. We do have a call. Let's take this call right now. Caller on the air. Go ahead, please.
You're on the air.
Hello. Hello, caller.
I hear something.
I hear. No, hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Earl, it's Big Josh.
Hey, Josh, what's up, buddy?
Oh, nothing much. I saw you guys doing that Corona special, and I can never pronounce that damn word.
Yeah. Well, I got it loud, so it goes out louder over there. Anyway, yeah, we're doing the Corona show tonight, Josh. So, give me your take down there in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Well, they just shut down the Dollywood's opening weekend tomorrow to the 28th.
Okay.
And then they shut down the Dolly Parton Stampede and her Dolly Parton Pirate Show that's been shut down indefinitely.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
And then the Sevierville Community Center has been shut down indefinitely.
Wow. That's, like, I know myself, and this is just my opinion. I'm not going to live in a bubble. I'm not going to let I don't want to live in a bubble. That's me. I'm not going to stop living my life over this thing. If I get it, I get it. I don't want to get it, but if I get it, I get it. It's. What's the kind of? What's people saying down there, Josh? Where you're at? What you hearing? A lot of panic down there. People going crazy down there. Tell me what you're hearing down there.
Well, when I was at the grocery store a couple of days ago at Kroger's, it was like, oh, Corona this, Corona that. We're turning to zombies. It's a zombie apocalypse. Talking so much bullshit. It's like, seriously, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then, there's no need to panic over the bullshit hysteria.
Right. I'm with you, man. But everyone's panicking. And that's the thing. It's, individual people I'm running into are being, thinking the same thing I am. Hey, this is gonna blow over. This is eventually gonna blow over. It's not gonna last forever. But you get a group of people together, and it's, oh my God, the sky's falling. You know, oh my God, we're screwed. You know, I mean, that's
Chicken Little. Ugh.
yeah, it's the whole Chicken Little thing. Exactly it. Oh my God, the sky's falling. We're done. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know, man. I don't.
Yeah, wait till next Wednesday. It's like there's this new grocery store, Food City, opening up in Pigeon Forge. I'm planning on walking down there, like 4 miles from my house to the grand opening, just to watch the chaos next week at 8:00 grand opening.
Right. I mean, especially with the chaos now. I mean, God, could you imagine if everything happened now next week and that store was opening? Yeah, they definitely would be out of stuff in about 2 days, kind of like how most of the stores are now. I mean,
it would be more like 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Or minutes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Now, John, just hang on for 1 second. Now, where you work at, Eric, did you guys actually have enough cashiers available, or do you still have the usual 3?
Yeah.
They had to.
I just want to know about that.
Not even kidding. They had to bring department managers up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. After they get done suggesting 15 times,
Yeah.
well, you'd be better off to use the self-checkout, and you look at them. Do I work here? Are you going to give me a discount for taking away somebody's job? No.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then somebody's ringing me out. Come on, chop, chop.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, Josh. I mean, it's just so. It's like I said. You know, I woke up yesterday in not like the state of Ohio here. There's a ban by our governor that states you can't have any groups more than 100 meeting together for any reason, unless, let's see, a church, a wedding, an office building, or you're at the store or whatever. That's fine. But like, say, you know, my business, what I do for a living, you can't have 100 people in there and you guys can't be open because there's more than 100 people here.
Damn.
What a bunch of shit. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yep.
You know, if you're gonna institute a ban like that, you make it across the board. You don't do it. Oh, it's okay for this business and this business and this business, but screw you, the little businessman. You know, screw you. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if there's any bans like that in Tennessee, but my God, it's actually it's. I feel like I feel like we've lost some of our freedoms over this now.
We have.
We have.
Yeah, maybe in some ways.
In a lot of ways, we lost our freedoms, and I get it. This virus is out there. We know it. I'm not debating the virus. It's there, but I think they're making this. The media is making this thing way worse than it is. That's for sure. I mean,
Oh, God.
and the media is got this thing so over sensationalized.
They're
I mean,
painting it to be the end of the world.
They're painting us to be the end of the world. Oh my God, this is the end of days. Everyone's getting the sniffles and the shits or whatever the hell they're getting. You know, I mean, it's not like it's a flesh-eating disease and like suddenly it's like leprosy or something. I mean, if that was the case, you wouldn't see anybody doing anything.
The Black Plague.
The Black Plague. I mean, this is like, okay, it's an offshoot. It's a different disease than the flu, but it has a similar types of things. You know, like the coronavirus symptoms, for example. I'm looking at it on the screen here: runny nose, cough, sore throat, high temperature. Okay.
Yep.
And that's the thing. You know, it's like, okay, great. On any given day, I have a runny nose. On any given day, I have a cough. Any given day, I have a sore throat. I don't have high temperature. Like today, I'll give you an example. I got a little bit of the sniffles. I think I got a little bit of a head cold, just a little bit. I checked my temperatures just for safety's sake. Yeah, guess what? I'm 98.6. There's nothing wrong. I got a little head cold, so I popped a couple Dayquil. I'm good to go, and I feel fine. There's so much, and there's a lot of people out there going, oh my God, I think I heard there's somebody on social media just this morning, and I read it. It's a friend of a friend type of thing. I don't even know who the person. Like, oh my God, I think I got coronavirus. I got a headache and I got a runny nose. Oh, like everyone's like, oh my God, go like, go to the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. You got a headache and a runny nose. Do you have a fever? Do you have 104 fever? No?
Nope.
You're fine. I mean,
Yep.
I get it. This disease is out there. I know it's there. We all know it's there. The world knows it's there. It's been shoved down our throats.
I mean, even if you have 104 fever, you
might even have the flu. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you got to go get checked out.
that could be normal.
But here's
for
the
some
thing,
people.
and then here's the best advice: wash your hands regularly and don't touch your face. Isn't that what they say all along with the flu season?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, folks. We're in 2020. 20 years ago, we're going to have flying cars, right? Yeah, or 20, 30 years ago, we're going to have flying cars by 2020. No. Here's what the news of the day is. Wash your hands and use plenty of hand sanitizer, and don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, and keep your hands clean. Keep hygiene. Jesus, that's what we're teaching people now. That's what have to tell everybody in this world today. It's ridiculous. We're in the year 2020, and that's what we're telling everybody. Pardon me as I cough.
That's crazy.
Pardon me as my throat's drying out because I've been talking for 45 straight minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the sanitizer thing. They said you have to use like 70% based alcohol.
Yep.
Right. It's like right now, I'm touching my nose out of habit. I mean, I got an itch on the tip of my nose. I'm touching my nose. Oh my God, I'm going to give myself the coronavirus. I mean, that's how people are acting. Like I was at work a couple nights ago on a Wednesday night. I got a phone just about before the NBA made their announcement. Got a call. Is the Saturday League canceled? No, Saturday League's not canceled. Oh well, with all this going on, I thought we were canceling. Like, well, our position is this: we're going to be open. If you feel ill, don't show up.
Yeah.
Use common
Easy enough.
sense. If you don't feel well, don't be here. If you feel fine, come on in. Folks, it's not that hard. And I think what we've lacked in this country today is common sense.
Common sense, common courtesy.
Common sense, common sense, common courtesy. Those things have gone down the shitter. We don't have it in this day and age. And I'm sorry to say it. It's the truth. And if I'm wrong, someone call me or text me or tell me I'm wrong. I think
They're not wrong. I agree.
I think we've lost common sense today. There's a lot of smart people in this world, and there's a lot of dumbasses in this world.
And I feel like there's more
Especially
of the
Tennessee.
dumbasses.
And I think there's more dumbasses than smart people this day and age. I mean, it's irritating as hell. I mean, it's just so irritating. I can't even see straight. I'm so bothered by this. Mm-hmm. For me to actually sit and do this show and not do a comedy show and say, hey, we're going to talk about a subject for 3 hours, I'm irritated. Mm-hmm. For me to go on about something for 3 hours. Normally, anytime we do this show, our topic is our background topic. No, we're talking about this tonight because there's a lot. Everybody's got opinions on this. Everyone's got their thoughts on this. It's all shoved down our throats. So why not? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's be the everyman. That's who we are. That's who I am. I'm the everyman. I'm not what you call a smart man. I'm smart enough, but I'm not. I'm not college educated. I'm not a.
Me neither.
And I'm not a. I'm just a regular everyday guy who's been around the block and seen some shit and seen real life in action. Come on, folks. Let's get it together. I mean, I get it. We got to write out this 3-week thing we're going through right now with sporting events and the bans and all this. It's not going to last forever. Even the governor of Ohio said that last night. It's not going to last forever. But right now, it's infuriating because as a free citizen of the United States, our rights and privileges are being taken away by some bug. Mm-hmm. And I know
It came from China.
It came from China. Damn it, it's Ben's fault. I'm blaming Ben.
Yeah.
Where's Ben at?
Mr. Orange Chicken.
Damn it, Ben. to have a little comedy into the show, but
yeah, I mean, it's
Hey, I got a little comedy for you, just
Yeah.
to cheer you up.
oh, I'm in a great mood now, but I can always use some comedy.
You know, if Hilljack Bob scratches his balls, then does he reckon he don't get the coronavirus? And does he reckon he doesn't wash his hands?
I think he's so dirty. I don't think he could get the coronavirus.
I don't think it would survive.
I don't think it would survive in him. I'm just saying. I mean, the guy is such a filth ball. I don't think any virus could survive in him.
He run away.
Plus the amount of alcohol in his system, it would kill anything. You know, I mean, that's truth. Truth
I
be
think
told.
Hilljack be the cure.
Oh God, if they based a cure on Hilljack's blood, just give me the damn virus at this point. I don't want. If Hilljack had to give you a transfusion, just let me go.
Who says we can't laugh during this dark
Yeah,
times, you
I
know?
mean that's the thing. I mean you gotta laugh. I mean you gotta live life. I mean no matter what, you gotta live your life, and that's my whole point. Is as much as there's panic in this community, in this world, like I said, I was in the community all day. I was running errands. I was doing some things. I would go. There was plenty of people out today. Everywhere I went, there's people everywhere. So people aren't that scared.
No.
The media is making it like oh my God, it's a mass panic. And of course, the governments are picking up on the media. And the state government's going, oh, well, and it's all to save face. I'm telling you, that's all it is. It's political in nature. Let's save face. It's not about, that's my opinion. Is the governor really trying to look out for the people in this state of Ohio? Yeah, hell no. It's about votes. Because make sure you get out and vote, though. Remember, he said that in his press conference. Oh, yeah, voting's still going to be open. Get out and vote. There's going to be thousands of people out together voting. That's okay.
Damn.
Here's a headline for you, a real one.
Yeah.
It tells you how stupid our society is.
Okay.
Don't drink bleach to prevent the coronavirus. Poison Control Center advises.
Are you shitting me? The Poison Control Center is telling people don't drink bleach.
No, there was a literal thing that said snorting cocaine and drinking bleach.
I saw that. I saw something about the cocaine.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus Christ.
CBS News confirms that drinking
my
bleach
God.
and snorting cocaine does not cure the coronavirus.
Oh my God. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because there's people, like I said, there's enough dumbass people in this world that will do something like that. They will. I mean, it's just hands down.
I mean, look, people were eating Tide Pods.
Oh God, yeah, I remember the Tide Pod challenge. I mean, yeah, I mean it's just. Here's the thing: we got this disease now. Okay, there's going to be another thing in a year or two come out. That's going to be they're going to say, oh, this makes COVID-19 look like a cakewalk. I mean, it's going to happen, folks.
Oh yeah,
Usually
always does.
Usually during an election year.
Yeah, conspiracy there.
Right, a little conspiracy theory action for everybody. It's happening. Oh my God, it's happening.
That's a good point.
It always happens during election year. Everything happens every 2 years. That's been kind of the pace.
What about the SARS when Obama?
Oh yeah,
Did that happen during Obama?
I think so. SARS came out. Let's see. I think that was. What was SARS, guys? SARS came out, and SARS was another variety of the coronavirus. Looking at the SARS virus. Let's see. I'm looking at CNBC. Excuse me. CNBC.com right now. 2002. Another.
It's right towards like Bush, the Bush.
That was about
administration.
that was around Bush time. Yep. About midway through.
Yep.
Because Bush was elected in what 2000. So.
Yep.
Midterm elections. Midterm elections. But it's still every couple years or something going on. It's usually an even year.
And then the swine flu, H1N1
Yeah,
shit, all that.
the
crap
swine
happened.
the swine flu, and then remember the avian flu, the bird flu was out. That was, oh my God, it's the end of times. It's gonna be the one that's gonna get us all. It's getting us all right now. Oh my God, we're dead.
That's something this virus is just a Chinese version of the flu. It's like a friend of mine in Nashville said, it's just a Chinese version of the flu.
Right. And it's, I don't know. I mean, it's there. We know it's there. It's going to go away in time. And I mean, in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, it's going to start dying down. The weather's going to warm up
like
across
in
the
China
country.
and Europe.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there was an article this morning that 70% of the cases in China have already been run its course.
Yeah.
70% of the cases in China, where it all started, has run its course already. They're already over it. They're not contagious anymore. It's done and over with for most of them people. And it was a couple weeks later, when this really started hitting the shit. I mean, it came out in October, but it really started hitting the fan about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And really, the shit hit the fan this week, starting Wednesday. And it's, I
mean, there was cases that we didn't know.
Right. There's probably cases we still don't know about.
I mean, prior to it being a thing, I know somebody who is a nurse at Cleveland Clinic and said there was coronavirus at Cleveland Clinic
Yeah.
a month before. Before the big outbreak. So
Right.
it was a thing before it was a real thing, if that makes sense.
And that was a thing before it became a hot topic item. I mean, there's always been coronaviruses. There's been coronaviruses. The COVID-19, which was identified, as the new strain of a coronavirus, basically. And we know it's there again, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. I mean, over time here, because really most of the cases are in the northern hemisphere, very few in the southern hemisphere at all. Once the northern hemisphere gets warmer and stays consistently warm, like any other virus, it's going to die off. Viruses thrive in colder temperatures. Period.
Yep.
Sure, you can take it where it's warm, but it's not going to thrive there.
Nope.
There's some cases in Florida. It's not going to thrive in Florida. It's going to go away because because the lifetime for it to spread and sit how it would on a cooler day, because it sits on they say it could sit on a desktop or something it stays for a long time.
3 weeks.
Yeah, like 3 weeks. But it's not going to, I don't think it's going to live in the warmer temperature. It's not going to thrive.
No.
It's not going to thrive. It's going to get better. It's going to get better, folks. I mean, for everyone that's panicking, folks, listen. I'm trying to be the voice of reason here. It's going to get better. It's just going to take some time.
Damn right.
We got to live with it. It sucks. But we got to just do our part. It sucks like crazy. I'm not happy about it, but you know what? We got to do our part. And, folks, wash your hands.
Wipe your ass.
Wipe your ass, then wash your hands.
Yep.
If you're going to go to the bathroom, wash your hands. I mean, anytime you sneeze,
they say
wash your hands.
I've heard people say wash before you go to the bathroom and then wash again after.
Oh, I've
you
heard
go.
that too. And then
Same here.
and then you got public toilets where people sneeze and shit all over the place.
Yeah.
Come on, it's everywhere. Come on,
Ugh.
surprised there's not more diseases out there.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
anyway, well, Josh, we're gonna run the break, bud. Hello.
Okay, I'm going to get off listening to the rest of the show.
All right, thanks for calling, buddy. It was good talking to you.
You too, Rose. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, you're welcome, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, some kind. That was loud.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take our break here. We're gonna coming up during this break. We're gonna play President Trump's speech from a couple days ago. I didn't get the one isolated from today. I would love to have played that, but we're gonna play the one from a couple days ago. where we're talking, where he talks about this whole virus and the spread and the whole thing. It's about a 9-minute thing. We're gonna play that, and then we'll be back. Some kind of radio show.
Americans. Tonight, I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people. This is the most aggressive and comprehensive effort to confront a foreign virus in modern history. I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus. From the beginning of time, nations and people have faced unforeseen challenges, including large-scale and very dangerous health threats. This is the way it always was and always will be. It only matters how you respond, and we are responding with great speed and professionalism. Our team is the best anywhere in the world. At the very start of the outbreak, we instituted sweeping travel restrictions on China and put in place the first federally mandated quarantine in over 50 years. We declared a public health emergency and issued the highest level of travel warning on other countries as the virus spread its horrible infection. And taking early, intense action, we have seen dramatically fewer cases of the virus in the United States than are now present in Europe. The European Union failed to take the same precautions and restrict travel from China and other hotspots. As a result, a large number of new clusters in the United States were seeded by travelers from Europe. After consulting with our top government health professionals, I have decided to take several strong but necessary actions to protect the health and well-being of all Americans. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea, and as their situation improves, we will reevaluate the restrictions and warnings that are currently in place for a possible early opening. Earlier this week, I met with the leaders of health insurance industry who have agreed to waive all co-payments for coronavirus treatments, extend insurance coverage to these treatments, and to prevent surprise medical billing. We are cutting massive amounts of red tape to make antiviral therapies available in record time. These treatments will significantly reduce the impact and reach of the virus. Additionally, last week I signed into law an $8.3 billion funding bill to help CDC and other government agencies fight the virus and support vaccines, treatments, and distribution of medical supplies. Testing capabilities are expanding rapidly day by day. We are moving very quickly. The vast majority of Americans, the risk is very, very low. Young and healthy people can expect to recover fully and quickly if they should get the virus. The highest risk is for elderly population with underlying health conditions. The elderly population must be very, very careful. In particular, we are strongly advising that nursing homes for the elderly suspend all medically unnecessary visits. In general, older Americans should also avoid non-essential travel in crowded areas. My administration is coordinating directly with communities with largest outbreaks, and we have issued guidance on school closures, social distancing, and reducing large gatherings. Smart action today will prevent the spread of the virus tomorrow. Every community faces different risks, and it is critical for you to follow the guidelines of your local officials who are working closely with our federal health experts, and they are the best. For all Americans, it is essential that everyone take extra precautions and practice good hygiene. Each of us has a role to play in defeating this virus. Wash your hands, clean often used surfaces, cover your face and mouth if you sneeze or cough, and most of all, if you are sick or not feeling well, stay home. To ensure that working Americans impacted by the virus can stay home without fear of financial hardship, I will soon be taking emergency action, which is unprecedented, to provide financial relief. This will be targeted for workers who are ill, quarantined, or caring for others due to coronavirus. I will be asking Congress to take legislative action to extend this relief. Because of the economic policies that we have put into place over the last 3 years, we have the greatest economy anywhere in the world by far. Our banks and financial institutions are fully capitalized and incredibly strong. Our unemployment is at a historic low. This vast economic prosperity gives us flexibility, reserves, and resources to handle any threat that comes our way. This is not a financial crisis. This is just a temporary moment of time that we will overcome together as a nation and as a world. However, to provide extra support for American workers, families, and businesses, tonight I am announcing the following additional actions. I am instructing the Small Business Administration to exercise available authority to provide capital and liquidity to firms affected by the coronavirus. Effective immediately, the SBA will begin providing economic loans in affected states and territories. These low-interest loans will help small businesses overcome temporary economic disruptions caused by the virus. To this end, I am asking Congress to increase funding for this program by an additional $50 billion. Using emergency authority, I will be instructing the Treasury Department to defer tax payments without interest or penalties for certain individuals and businesses negatively impacted. This action will provide more than $200 billion of additional liquidity to the economy. Finally, I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will consider this very strongly. We are at a critical time in the fight against the virus. We made a life-saving move with early action on China. Now we must take the same action with Europe. We will not delay. I will never hesitate to take any necessary steps to protect the lives, health, and safety of the American people. I will always put the well-being of America first. If we are vigilant and we can reduce the chance of infection, which we will significantly impede the transmission of the virus. The virus will not have a chance against us. No nation is more prepared or more resilient than the United States. We have the best economy, the most advanced health care, and the most talented doctors, scientists, and researchers anywhere in the world. We are all in this together. We must put politics aside, stop the partisanship, and unify together as one nation and one family. As history has proven time and time again, Americans always rise to the challenge and overcome adversity. Our future remains brighter than anyone can imagine. Acting with compassion and love, we will heal the sick, care for those in need, help our fellow citizens, and emerge from this challenge stronger and more unified than ever before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
You are tuned into the Some Kind of Radio Show. Call now at 234-200-5110. Now, back to Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Welcome back, everybody, to Some Kind of Radio Show, our special episode, a special edition coronavirus episode.
Yep, and let's see here. While Earl takes a little bit of a break, here I'm at Master Control. Of course, I'm Tony the Comedy Killer. No comedy tonight, unfortunately. We do have a little serious in the subject to discuss, so... I mean, we have the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about COVID 1 through 18 myself, but now, but as far as all that goes, I mean, I'm listening to a lot of stuff that's going on myself, and and it's just okay. Here's the way I see it. I went to the grocery store today. Mm-hmm. I was not surprised to see. I mean, they were restocking. There was plenty of bottled water.
Yeah.
The bread shelf was totally empty. The bagel shelves were full, of course. Nobody realizes that's also kind of bread. It's Jewish bread, but, well, that's what I eat anyway. The bread shelves were empty. The paper towel aisle was full. Now, if you're in a pinch, buy a roll of paper towels and cut them into 3. That can be toilet paper.
But are those biodegradable?
Yeah, you could flush paper towels, as long as they're the cheap ones.
Yeah.
Bounty, they're the quicker picker-upper. I don't think you want to try flushing those. But
I mean, hey, there's this online site that you subscribe to that you could get bamboo toilet paper.
Bamboo toilet paper. Well, you want to know, I had a fellow that worked for me, go back 15 years. He was a big, I'm a stocky guy, but this guy was about 500 pounds. And what we used to do is our cleaning rags that were so incredibly tore up that they couldn't use them, that he would use them and he would dispose of them because he'd have to hold one end and kind of do the little, because he couldn't bend down and wipe his rear.
Yeah.
He was just that big of a fella, and we used to always save all our tore up towels because we knew when Big James was working, if he had to go drop a deuce, he dropped a double deuce or a 222. He was a big fella, but no, I mean, it's just, you see these people, it's just like, and then everything else is like, why are people buying toilet paper? And it's just like, and there's going to be a big run on, you hope you have some napkins from all your fast food restaurants. I've got enough napkins to last the world's population about a month. I save them everywhere I go because, you go through Taco Bell, they give you a stack of napkins like this because they assume you're going to, you're going to make a mess with everything. And so it's just like, that's why I don't buy them.
I mean, somebody was telling me that they went to Market District and there was a line, and they talked to people that were standing in line for over an hour waiting for toilet paper.
Waiting, and it's just like all the dollar stores are out, all the department stores are out, pretty much for the most part. There were signs limiting everything. I wanted to buy bags of potatoes. I went into the grocery store today for a couple of things because they send me these little reward certificates for $10 of free stuff if you spend at least 10 on one. I went in to get coffee. I got some more fruit. Fruit they had plentiful. I went in to get some more fruit, some coffee, and I snagged like one or two other things. But I'm going through and I'm just like amazed. Eggs, almost sold out of everything. People were buying eggs that had 10 good eggs and 2 cracked eggs because they're that desperate. Because I know from having worked at a grocery store, the overnight people, some of them are tasked that at the end of the night, whatever eggs are left over to sell the next day, they actually hired a guy that worked in the department because what his job was to do was to open up the cartons of eggs that had ones that were cracked in it, throw away the cracked ones, and say they had 20 dozen of eggs that had cracked ones. Well, if you can get 16 good dozen out of them, then we can resell them. Because, the 10 of the eggs are good. But people were literally, this one's got 10 good eggs in it, let's buy it. And it's just like, and there was a run on that. There was a run on people were buying milk. Milk was barren, unless of course nobody wants to buy soy milk or almond milk.
Yeah, ew, almond milk, disgusting.
That's what I use.
Oh,
Just reason I buy I prefer almond, but I'll buy soy milk. But I buy it because I don't go through it fast enough, and it's got such a long shelf life to it. It's got a 3 or 4 month shelf life to it because there's no dairy to go sour in it like there is regular milk.
yeah.
So I found, why am I going to buy a gallon of milk and I only drink half of it and it goes out of date in 2 weeks? Then I got to throw it out. I'd rather spend the extra money. I can buy a gallon of almond milk and that lasts me for 4 months.
I was surprised there wasn't more canned goods being sold.
Yeah, well, we're not to that point yet. They want to buy the perishables. Just, the stuff that they're going to instantly use right now. Like I was talking about last hour before Josh called us. Hey, Josh, how you doing? I read this thing online. I belong to a group of, what's going on in Kent, like Kent State University. And the biggest concern was if the schools are closed, how are my kids going to eat? You're in really sad shape if you rely on the schools to feed your kids. And I said, here's a solution for you, buddy. I got an easy solution. Breakfast, you got a couple of kids, go buy one of those big bags of cereal, not the name brand, I think it's Malto Meals makes it, a gallon of milk. I guarantee you that'll feed your kids for 2 weeks. It's either take it or leave it. Lunch, you could buy a pack of bologna for $1, a pack of cheese for $1, a loaf of bread, maybe some mustard or mayonnaise or something, some cheap stuff, a couple of good big bags of chips. There's their lunch. It might not be something fancy schmancy or different every day, but if they're hungry, they'll eat.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, well, now we got to feed them like they're prisoners." I said, "Well, what do you expect? A fine 4-course meal for every? They're not getting that in school. You know what they're getting in school? Something similar every day. And lunch, okay, there might be a variety of what they're getting: pizza, burger, or something, or chips, or something like that. There might be, but it's just you rely on the school to feed your kids. Okay, well, you might just have to stretch out those food stamps just a little bit longer." I'm like, because I see people and their carts are overflowing. No offense against Wally World or any of these name brand grocery stores. Depending where you're at in this country, I don't care if you shop at a Big Bear, if you shop at a Meijer, a Kroger, Wally World, Piggly Wiggly, Winn-Dixie. I mean, if you're on food stamps and you're not going to either Aldi's or Save-A-Lot, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you go to Wally World and buy a lot of generics. They got Sam's Choice. But a lot of these other stores, you stretch out those dollars so much further. I mean, I got a friend of mine who's, God love her, she's suffering with stage 4 cancer. But one of her complaints was like, okay, well, I need, money. And I'm like, okay, what are you buying? Well, my kid will only eat Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops. And I'm like, well, he better be eating Apple Loops and Fruit Wheels or something like that. Well, I'm like, your kid, you just can't, you're getting what you're getting. You can't rely on name brands. I'm like,
No.
why, because when I grew up, and I know I'm a lot older than you are, I'm 46. When I grew up, we didn't have Food Club. We didn't have Sam's Choice. We didn't have Great Value. We didn't have this. We didn't have this. You know we had growing up if you were poor? Corn Flakes. It was a white box, and it said Corn Flakes on it, and that's it. It said Oat Wheels or Oat Loops or something for Cheerios. It was generic.
It was.
I buy generic now of a lot of stuff.
It is cheaper.
I don't buy Philly cream cheese. I bought store brand today. You know why? Because when you open up the packages, they taste just about the same. Only a few things I don't go cheap on: my coffee, my ice cream, and I buy generic cereal all the time. It's all the same to me. Or I stock up when it's really on sale.
I mean, there's really most places never have a really good deal on cereal.
No, I mean, cereal's gotten so friggin' expensive.
Oh yeah.
I would much rather buy Great Value Raisin Bran than I would Kellogg's or Post. It's the same to me. It's raisins and bran flakes.
Yeah.
Who can fuck that up? Who?
No.
I mean, I don't know what I don't know what people are thinking when they're when they go grocery shopping, and I don't know, like when I got out of the Army, I was on food stamps because you don't get unemployment when you leave the military. They don't consider that, okay, well, you're eligible for employment. You can go down and apply for welfare benefits, which I got a check for $300 or $400 a month to help me pay rent or for a place to stay. I got, because I was married, we got, my ex-wife got her check and I got mine. They sent them individually so we could pour our money together, pay for our utilities. Mm-hmm. We got food stamps. And then we both had medical cards, and at least it got us by until we got us on our feet. We were on them for probably about a year and a half. We worked some under the table work until we both found legitimate jobs. Then we got a little less benefits until we were eventually off. Like my friend Jill with cancer, her kids insist on eating name brands, and then she's like, "Well, I need money to get my car fixed," and I'm like, "You live in Cleveland. Why in God's name do you have a car to begin with if you're not working?" Well, I'm like, you can't get on RTA and go to the store. Then she's like, well, I think I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford Hulu or Netflix here down the road. And I'm like,
why do you have that?
I'm like, for entertainment, you know what you need? You need a TV with a digital antenna. Well, what's my kid going to watch? Well, what about PBS Kids? 25-2. They got all the kids shows you want. Sesame Street, Mr. Rot, or whatever. They got plenty of kids shows.
Yeah.
Well, he won't watch. I'm like, well, he ain't gonna watch TV. You know what you need? You need a transistor radio. And what about taking a walk to the library and checking out some books? Well, I don't like reading.
That's a lost cause.
And I'm just like, don't worry about what you're doing on the weekends. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that.
Or how about checking out movies at the library? Get
you can even
DVD
do that.
player and get movies from the library. Yeah. So, as we're transitioning over, I'll just talk.
Thanks for keeping the seat warm.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Tony warmed up the seat for me.
Yeah, 300 pounds. Trust me. But no, we were talking. We were just like,
I was listening upstairs,
Okay.
so I'm well aware what you guys are talking about, the groceries and everything.
Yeah, and it's just like, when I was at the store today, I'm like, of course they're out of bread. They still have buns.
Yeah.
But, they're out of all of this stuff, and it's just like...
they're out of everything. And, I mean, folks, like we talked about, it's going to blow over. I mean, now, Eric, let me ask you, how often... Now, when is your store supposed to get, more, an influx of stuff? Is there, they tell you guys anything yet, or...
I'm not sure because I didn't work today, but yesterday was the shipment of toilet paper and stuff, but they were sold out by 4 o'clock when I left. I have no idea when the next shipment is.
Right.
Who knows? Yeah. There's a shortage. I know with hand sanitizer, we've been out for...
Well, actually, there's not a shortage. If you go to a bunch of people's houses, I'm sure there's 10,000 rolls somewhere,
Yeah.
So, hey, folks, come off the TP a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
and here's the thing. If I rent, we always stock up pretty good on toilet paper in this house. Okay, because we got 5 people in the house. So we always go and buy, the last time we bought toilet paper was about 2 weeks ago. And we buy those big, giant packs of them. We buy 2, 3, 4 at a time.
Yeah, you need them.
Because we need them. We still got 3 or 2 or 3 left in the house. So we got plenty of TP in this house.
Yeah, you got 2 girls that use them every time that they go.
Yeah, and so then, so I was like, I was talking last night to somebody. I'm like, you know what? Here's the deal. If I run out of TP, and if I have to wash my backside, hey, I'm gonna hop in my shower and use my shower wand and wash my ass. I mean,
have you ever seen the rigs people are putting? Their water line, they're putting one of those little dishwashing spray gun things in their line. Here you go.
Yep. Just
eliminates the need.
Yep, exactly. Just wash your ass. Anyway, I just used the bathroom. Reminder, folks, wash your hands when you go to the bathroom. It's just that's how you stop the spread of disease.
There's this place that you can subscribe to that they do non-tree based product.
Okay.
So you can get bamboo toilet paper.
Oh Jesus. Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyway, hey, folks, if you want to call in, we'd love to hear from you. We are discussing the coronavirus outbreak, how it's affecting you and your community. We'd love to hear from you. 234-200-5110. That'll get you through live on the Pro if you'd like to call in. If not, and you're watching us, feel free to jump in on the chat. We are monitoring the chat. Big thanks to Victoria, who is our chat moderator. And I see the chats right in front of me. They are on my screen. A couple things. Victoria just posted WWE has an empty audience in tonight's show.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's actually talks. Do you think, now, this is kind of a thing here, Tony. I mean, this is kind of off this. Do you think they're going to cancel WrestleMania or postpone it?
No.
Because by the time it's come around, we're probably going to be out of this.
Yeah, it's the second week of April.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it is right before Easter.
Okay.
It is the Sunday. It's Palm Sunday.
Right.
So I don't think they'll cancel it. It's an outdoor stadium.
Right.
It's also in Florida.
Yeah.
At Raymond James Stadium.
Right. It's
you
probably
ever noticed the pirate theme on all their logos?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just wondering. There was actually some people talking on a group last night about it. If there was they were going to cancel anything, and like the indoor shows right now, I mean, they're still doing those.
Oh yeah.
But there's going to come to a point that I'm sure the states are going to step in and say, nope, right now, no, run a rerun,
Well, they don't do reruns.
Yeah. Well, the only time they ever did is that's the thing. They don't do reruns, but they might get to a point they might, at least in the next 2 weeks. I don't know if this continues. They might have to do something here. But I guess from what she said, tonight is a empty audience for the arena. I'll have to look. They're on right now, right?
Yeah, because they're on 8 o'clock, 8 to 10, Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.
Matter of fact, call in. Anyone call in. Matter of fact, Victoria's calling in right now. Anyone can call in. I don't care. Call in, folks. We'd love to hear from you. And let's see. Do we have... why does it say we still have Josh Hinkle on the line? Victoria, you there? I hear myself. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Victoria.
Hello?
Hi, Victoria.
Hello.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, so I've been doing some fact-checking while you guys were on break, and I cannot keep up with the amount of information I'm getting handed to me
Okay.
about what's been going on with all the closures and everything. So I just want to update everybody as I'm getting information, just in case you guys are not getting the same information I am.
Okay.
But for those that live in the Cleveland area, who are or one of those families that are dependent on meals for your children for breakfast and lunches, the Cleveland Public Library was offering those meals still with the schools being closed. That is now not an option no longer. As of about an hour or so ago, they made the official announcement. They will be They were going to close at 6 p.m.
Yep.
And they will be closed until further notice. So I don't know what their plan is moving forward for doing those meals. The Cuyahoga County libraries are also closed until April, I believe it's 5th, I saw.
Okay.
Because of
All right.
the coronavirus.
Wow. It's Victoria, give me your take on all this. I mean, tell me what your thoughts are on this whole thing. I mean, with everything shutting down, give me your opinion.
I honestly am on the same page as you are. I think it's being overblown.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's being sensationalized way too much.
Okay.
I think they're taking it way too seriously. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there are people that have died, yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They're also got to keep in mind, those are probably people that, had some kind of underlying health issue that they didn't know about that
Right, exactly.
got triggered by the activation of this virus.
Right,
And it
exactly.
caused complications. I'm willing to bet on it. I'm working, as y'all know, I work in the medical field. I am a nurse, a home health care nurse.
Okay.
So I work with patients every day, matter of fact. And we just had left work today, and I had been out of work maybe an hour, and I got a call from I actual company's office,
Right.
calling me to give me the updated coronavirus policy. Was there anything that I felt that I needed to know or discuss with them in
Right.
protecting myself going forward?
Right,
And I was
right.
like, no, I think I'm good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm getting all these, like, I'm subscribed to like hotels out in Vegas and Reno and stuff. I'm getting all they're putting out their official statements. I've been getting those emails. I even got an official statement from the bank yesterday, their statement saying, we advise you not to come to the bank, but take advantage of our online banking. Okay, so I'll take advantage of putting some people out of work. Why not? I mean, I get this, but I think this whole thing is just so blown out of proportion. And
Like,
it's
I had to go grocery shopping today because of other situations in my house.
Sure.
I didn't have a choice, and I was down to almost nothing.
Right.
And of course, unfortunately, it happened to be the same day as Girl Scout Held Day,
Of course.
which is the delivery of Girl Scout cookies
Of
for
course.
today.
Of course.
So
Naturally.
I had to do double duty doing both.
You got-
And when I went to the one store that I went to, it was mad busy.
Mhm.
There was practically no cases of bottled water.
Wow.
Let's just say there was less than a few desirable products that I actually get on a regular. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to pass. I'm going to wait till the next
good.
truck order comes in.
Right,
I'm
right.
good.
Right. You know,
I
it's
can live without it.
Yeah, I mean, we went yesterday, and we spent. Well, I didn't go. Lori and the girls went yesterday. They went to Costco, and my daughter did
Yeah, I don't do Costco.
Yeah, my daughter did a live video,
Yeah, I saw that.
and she's showing like all these. I mean, there's some stuff they had plenty of. There's a lot of cereal. There's some pallet. There's a lot of things in some places, and you go some other places. You go into the freezers. There's nothing in the freezers. There's no toilet paper at all, no paper towels.
I was able to find some.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. Mark's at 7 o'clock a.m. this morning at the one by my house. Let me tell you, they had a whole, shelf full. But they were limiting them to 2 per person.
Yeah.
Kleenex was 2 per person. Any Clorox disinfecting anything was limited to 1 per person.
Right.
2 per person unless it was the 3-pack of wipes, and then that was limited to 1 per person.
Right. And, and that's the thing. Common sense, folks.
That's Mark's system. That's through the entire Mark's system. No, that's
Yeah.
not just that store. That's system-wide.
Good. And that's the thing. Common sense, folks. Here's
I'm
the thing.
assuming that was probably because the truck had just gotten there. That's why it was in stock.
No, they're not due. According to the guy that I talked to at the one by my house, they're not due for another truck until Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they're being proactive to share the wealth
Yeah.
with everybody right now. Because here's the thing.
Because I think this one gets theirs every Tuesday and Thursdays. I think is how
Right.
theirs work.
At least.
I don't really go to that one because that's the ghetto one.
There's at least some companies being proactive about, oh, hey, there's a lot of people out there. We all need toilet paper. We all need these things right now. And what the hell am I reading? I think we should start calling the coronavirus the cornholio virus, since everyone wants TP for their bunghole. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Of course, Tony with the throwing a little bit of interjection of the comedy into the program, which we got to have every now and then, because this show is. Those of you just tuning in for the first time, we normally are a comedy program, but tonight we opted to do a serious topic that is affecting all our communities right now. Is the coronavirus, the COVID-19? It's affecting everybody in one way or another. Right now, in my opinion, again, I'm stating as a citizen of the state of Ohio, I feel our freedoms have been absolutely being taken away right now with the amount of the ban on 100 people or less in any given place, but except unless you're a church or a wedding or an office building.
So that might change too.
Yeah, and that probably will change too. But the thing is, it's as many people that you hear all this, oh, we're all scared to go out. I saw plenty of traffic out on the road today. I saw plenty of people out on the road. I saw plenty of people places. People are living their lives,
Yeah.
and you cannot stop people from living. this is a free country. We're not in a dictatorship. You're not going like China where you can, the government speaks and the citizens say jump and say hi,
Right.
The United States of America, it's going to be impossible to, unless they start declaring martial law at this point. I mean, that's the thing. How are they going to police all these things? Like what I do for a living. I work in the bowling business. Also, we get 101 people show up. Oh my God, what are we going to do? We shutting down? I mean, who's going to enforce that? How are they going to enforce it? Did they say how they're going to enforce it? I'd love to see them try, because how many places are going to have to go in the state to enforce these bars? That's one. You get some bars that have a capacity of 250.
Yeah.
You're going to see 100 people in a bar.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just, how are they going to enforce it? I mean, they're leaving it up to the business owner. Oh, yeah, we better be good. There's going to be business owners going to go, hey,
Well,
what?
I mean, theoretically, they could do the counter thing with the little
Clicker.
after so many. Nope. Sorry, you have to wait until some more people come out before I
Right.
can let any more in.
But the typical small businessman is not going to say, no, we can't do it. They're going to say,
Well,
bring
I'm
in the
a small
money.
businesswoman, and
Yeah.
it's not affecting my business. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm just saying, but a business that's relies on customer base, bowling centers, bars,
Yep.
restaurants, I don't. I as a small business person who's been in the
Right,
has
no,
been
I
in
got you.
business, I know as a business person, I would say, screw that. I mean, they're gonna have to come in here and stop me before I turn people away.
Yeah, and this is, the reality of things.
Because people have to work. Our employees are entitled to work.
Yep.
Entitled to earn a living. I'm not going to tell our employees, no, you can't come earn a living because we're not allowed to, because we got to keep it under 100 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, because here's the thing: 100 people, 200 people. What's the difference? Is going to spread that much more?
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, I think 100 people is a little bit
Overkill.
Yeah. But see, here's going to be the real problem, though. What happens when the parents that actually have to work, single parents, working parents, whatever? What happens when the daycares are the next to get shut down? because
That's going to probably
they don't want you
happen
sending
next.
your-
Yeah.
Oh, that's coming soon.
And that's coming the way.
I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you, I got 5 emails last night. Ask me, what are my daycare plans? Since my son is enrolled at Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
what are my daycare plans? Do I plan on bringing him? Because they need to know for the influx of children that they're going to have for school age, because they need to
Right.
bring in additional staff to cover the extra amount of
It's-
children that will be coming to the centers.
And that's the thing. It's, the 3 weeks off school. I mean, it's not affecting us any here at our house, because our kids are all, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
It's not affecting us because they're pretty self-sufficient kids. I mean, it's not like we have to, we can leave them alone for the day and it's not going to affect us. Lori and I both work or whatever. We're gone during the day. It's not going to affect our
Yeah,
kids.
but they're
'cause
also old enough to be left home alone too.
they're old enough, but there's a lot of folks out there with younger children that are now like elementary age kids, kindergartners, first graders, second. They can't leave their kids alone.
No.
And there's a lot of people that are, there's single mothers out there.
Hell, I got
There's two parents.
Leaving her alone with my kid.
There's single mothers out there. There's single fathers out there. They're raising their kids alone. There's also 2-parent households that both work. And now, what am I going to do? Because I gotta, I can't afford daycare, for example. If and what am I going to do? I get it, but here's the thing: the kids are not having. They're the ones not getting the virus. It's the senior citizens. It's the elderly. It's the people with compromised immune systems.
Yeah.
I just saw they want people to sit or stand or whatever, be 6 feet apart from
Right.
each other. Well, good example. If you're at a store at the register,
You're not going to be 6 feet apart from somebody at the register.
No.
Not a chance, because they're going to, especially with these stores the way the lines are, you're going to be bunched in like herds, and then you're only then you're only like a couple feet away from the cashier. So you're within 6 feet. So
that was the point I was trying to make. I wasn't
Exactly.
even considering the people in line. I was just saying.
Oh yeah,
the distance
but people
between-
in line are still going to be. They're not going to be 6 feet apart.
No, they're.
Hell no, they're going to pack in like sardines, like Victoria just said. That's
Yeah,
exactly it.
I mean, like, they'll be lucky to be a foot apart.
Right. And it's
Do you want to hear something funny?
Sure.
I have a funny story for you.
sure, I'd love to hear
Real
it.
quick. So I'm in the store. I'm at Lucky's, and I'm going to throw their name out there because they actually handled the crowds very well today. But they did not have but 5 cashiers, which is better than average, but hey. I actually got cussed out by 2 customers because I had 2 carts full of items.
Really?
And I was standing in the express lane because it's 10 items or less. And I said, well, there's a line going all the way halfway back down the aisle for the other 5 lanes. Yeah, there was hardly anybody in this one when I walked up. So I'm staying right here. I'm staying in the hell put. You got a problem with it? Sit and spin.
Yeah, real quick.
He's like, Bob, this is an express lane. It's for 10. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not about to go back there and wait another hour because I was here before all these other people started migrating their little butts up there.
We touched on this earlier. I
sat there.
just want to read the official release real quick. We did touch on this earlier. Trump declares national emergency to combat coronavirus. This is out of Washington, courtesy of CNN, fake news, of course, but but I'm going to read the release. President Donald Trump said Friday he was declaring a national emergency. 2 very big words, national emergency, to free up $50 billion in federal resources to combat coronavirus, even as he refused to take personal responsibility for the administration. Let's see, I'm going to kind of scroll down here. The whole damn thing cut off. What the hell? Can't they get their shit straight? Can I see the whole article, please? Anyway, it kind of cut off, but anyway. So there's $50 billion in resources being freed up.
Oh,
to
good.
help combat this.
I mean, and it's just like, and like you were saying last hour, you said it's not, for a lot of people when they heard that Tom Hanks was diagnosed, had it, and he's just like, it didn't feel real until he had it.
It didn't feel, yeah, right.
Think about it this way. He's finally stuck on an island with someone named Wilson.
Well, he's stuck on a big-ass island in Australia.
Yeah. He's stuck on, think about it. Stuck on an island with somebody named Wilson.
Rita Wilson. Yeah, you're
Rita
right.
Wilson.
Yeah, he's
volleyball.
See?
Yeah.
It's all coming around.
Yeah.
It all fits together now, don't it? No. Our best to Tom Hanks, of course. But there was a news personality on Fox News. Oh, it didn't feel real to me until I heard Tom Hanks had it. I mean, it's like, are you shitting me? You guys have been reporting on this for weeks and it doesn't feel real to you because, now you can actually put a name that you recognize to this thing. Oh, now it should feel real. Yeah, now it feels real. Tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah.
Tell me how that makes sense. Explain that to me right now. I'd love to hear that explanation. And you know what? There isn't one. And there's been a lot of people. There's some famous, Dr. Drew, for example. He's come out and said, why is the media is making this a circus? Everyone's panicking. They're inciting panic. Report the facts. Come on, folks. Report the facts. Let's see. Dr. Oz is saying the same thing. Yes, it's out there, but report the facts. I mean, this is coming, and even CNN yesterday, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, he did a live stream yesterday, and he's talking about, hey, here's the things, here's what to look out for. But are we panicking a little bit? Probably we are. But it's a good thing to be overly cautious, sure. But there's a difference. There's a fine line between being overly cautious and panic.
Australian family buys 2,304 packs of toilet paper by accident.
By accident?
Yeah.
Well, they're covered for the next 10 years.
Because they wanted
2,000 packs of TP. Yeah, they're
bought it off Amazon, didn't they?
Yeah, they bought it off some online. They wanted to buy a 48 pack of toilet paper. They bought 48 cases of toilet paper.
Yeah,
wow.
So yeah, they're selling it online for the price they bought it for.
Well, here's the thing. Let's see. I'm looking online right now. You can buy toilet paper on Amazon.
Yeah, no, they're out of stock till
Currently unavailable.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking at the. Let's see. Oh, but there's a cheap bath tissue. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. You could get the Genuine Joe bath tissue. That's available.
from Amazon.
Amazon. Genuine Joe. It's the kind of it's the one ply shit you usually buy for like public restrooms.
Does anybody here shop at Walgreens?
Nope.
Very rarely.
Well, if you do shop at Walgreens, if you place an order on Walgreens.com, they are now offering free shipping with no minimum order.
Okay.
So
Nice.
just for that.
Yeah.
For those
But the Genuine Joe.
stuff.
Yeah. Genuine Joe is available. That's what it's called. And it's a Genuine Joe 500 sheet 2-ply standard bath tissue. Oh, yeah. This looks like something that's. Yeah, you probably rub your ass raw in about 2 seconds because it looks like something you buy for like a public bathroom.
Hey, somebody's
That's
got
what you have lotion for.
somebody's got toilet paper on eBay. Scott tissue, 4 squares, 99 cents.
Oh, my God.
For 4
squares.
squares.
Someone will probably buy it.
Scott rapid dissolving toilet paper, bath tissue, 1-ply white, $70.
You know what? The one thing is, think about this. If anyone goes and TPs any houses tonight,
Yeah.
people
are going to be there taking it off the trees for him.
they will. They'll be like, oh, great, I can wipe my ass now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking on eBay. It's got a ton of it on. $17.99 a roll for Scott 1000 sheets. Yeah, people are going to make money off this.
People will buy it. That's the
People
thing.
are gonna buy
People
it.
are going to be crazy enough to buy it. I mean, that's the crazy thing about this whole thing.
I think it was probably a year or two before I met you. You remember when Twinkies went away for a while?
Oh God, I remember that. I was so disappointed. I was pissed off about Twinkies going away, and remember the little snack cakes.
Yeah,
Oh man, I was pissed.
because and Twinkies are one thing that lasts for years beyond expiration.
Oh, I love Twinkies, man.
And,
I was so disappointed when Twinkies went away.
course,
Yeah, I
you
mean
know-
they have reusable toilet paper.
Yeah, yeah,
Reusable.
it's like a handkerchief for your ass.
Great. Hey,
Oh yeah,
it's like used condoms. Remember?
yeah.
Oh my God! I told you if I run out of TP, up in my bathroom I have a bathroom off my bedroom, right?
Okay.
And I got a real nice stand-up shower, right? And I got one of them like removable heads.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'll go in there and I'll spritz my ass with the freaking wand. You know what I mean? That's,
Wash it away. It'll even wash away the dingleberries.
and I'll even wash away the dingle, and I'll put that sucker in high pressure. I might even get my jollies off. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, get in the right spot.
Bamboo toilet paper looks like paper towels.
Bamboo TP. That looks kind of rough.
But see, it's funny because it's like
Like sandpaper.
a lot of people that weren't thinking about it is we carried it at work in our machines because we carried pastry and then we also carried Hostess was premium pastry.
Right.
We charged more for it. Susie Q's, cupcakes, Twinkies, ding dongs, whatever. Well, when the Twinkies, when we heard they were going,
Heard Suzuki loved her ding dongs.
oh yeah, don't put your Twinkie in. Don't put. It's like don't put your ding dong in a CCQ unless you want some Twinkies.
Right.
But no, I collected a lot of the outdated ones from people, and I sold them on eBay. They went like hotcakes. I made so much money off those.
I bet.
And because at work, everybody was like, and I told everybody, create an eBay account, take home all your waste, and just sell it because people will buy it on eBay. Mm-hmm. All the Hostess type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But Twinkies were the only things that we really ever had to waste out because they're not chocolate.
Right. Right. And
And the stuff that's out now, just
how
isn't
long?
the
How
same.
long did that stuff go away for? Maybe 6 months. Was it
About a year.
Was it about a year? I don't know if it was that long or not. But man, I'll tell you, when they came back, oh yeah, first thing I did was I bought Twinkies.
Yeah, and I could handle Twinkies, but it's just they're not. I mean, I like Ding Dongs were my favorite.
Yeah.
well, you got to remember in that time.
I like the
too,
Hostess chocolate cupcakes.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite with the cream in the middle.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. I
Swiss
love
cake
those.
rolls.
Yeah. Well, Swiss
Well,
rolls.
Swiss rolls are good, but I'm talking about the cupcakes. You remember the cupcake? It's
yeah,
got the little
I
white
do.
swirl on top of the yeah.
Swiss rolls are basically Little Debbie's version of a ho ho. Same
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And that's why, and because they already had Swiss rolls.
Right.
Little Debbie made dream cakes, which were just like a Twinkie.
Yeah.
Sponge cake with cream.
Right.
They were making something like a Susie Q.
Right.
And then they already made cupcakes anyway. Little Debbie had taken over, but it just wasn't quite the same.
Right.
And it's just, and then when Hostess came back out, the product's 15% smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice if you take an old pack of Twinkies and a new one, they're about 15% smaller.
Yeah.
They're all made in Mexico now. They're all made
Right.
down south.
Yeah.
And they're more expensive too.
I don't taste no tequila in my Twinkies, though.
No. No agave?
No agave in my Twinkies.
Well, that's the big thing too down there. Is the one thing they do is, at least they were doing it, is everything in Mexico is pure sugar. They don't use corn syrup down there.
Right.
Because if you could buy a Mexican Coca-Cola
Oh, God.
or a Sprite or a Fanta or
Mexican
something,
Coca-Cola is the bomb.
because it's got pure sugar in it, unlike it's not the
I-
corn syrup that's in.
I went to, when I was in Vegas, okay, I went to the Heart Attack Grill.
Yeah.
And they sell Mexican Coca-Cola there. My God, I loved it. It was so much better than what you get here.
If you ever get into a city that's got a Coca-Cola store, like when we went to Niagara Falls
Yeah.
like a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
they've got a Coke store, and then right next to it is a Hershey store.
Yeah.
You can go in a Coke store. I don't know if you know what a brown cow is. It's a root beer float made with Coke instead of root beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they get a root beer float from. Get a brown cow, or even get any Coke product off their fountain.
Oh, yeah.
Because
It's a real deal.
it's real sugared Coke. It's
Yeah.
not corn
it's,
syrup Coke.
well, it's just like you go down to Texas and you can get real Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
And I had a buddy of mine who was from Texas, and he every once in a while his family would send him up real Dr. Pepper. He goes, "Have you ever had that?" Like I said, I haven't had it in years. So
Yeah.
I had one, and it was like, it's such a difference. It's just like now, like I think Pepsi's kind of screwed up what they've done. Maybe they got the real sugar Pepsi. Well, they marketed it as Pepsi Throwback.
Yeah.
Then they kind of changed the formula a bit. They it's the current Pepsi formula.
Yeah.
But would they put the real sugar, and it tastes like it's
It just doesn't taste the same. Because I liked Mountain Dew under the old formula. But
Yeah.
I tried the Mountain Dew Throwback.
Yeah.
It just does not taste
See,
the same.
I like the Mountain Dew Throwback
Yeah.
a lot, but the Pepsi Throwback, I loved it. But then now they're not selling the Throwback anymore. But now it's Pepsi with real sugar. It's not the same thing. It's
No.
not the same thing as a Pepsi Throwback was. Not even close to the same.
And you look at all the varieties that Diet Coke still makes. They make with lemon. They make with lime.
I wish they'd make it the regular Coke with that shit.
Yeah.
Because I can't drink the diet stuff because I can't drink the artificial stuff.
Yeah.
I got to have the natural either.
And they still make it with Splenda.
Yeah, I can't do any of that artificial sweeteners. I can't do any of them because they tear me up. I get sick off them.
Like for me, when I drink sodas, I prefer I'll drink a Coke Zero,
Yeah.
a Cherry Zero, or a Vanilla Zero.
Yeah.
I tried these little Coke energy drinks. That
I
I'm
heard
drinking now.
I heard they're good.
These are yummy.
Yeah.
But I tried a Cherry Zero in it and I didn't like
Didn't
it.
like it.
And I tried a Zero in it and
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But
Yeah, we are discussing, folks. We are discussing the coronavirus, but we're kind of going off topic just for a minute. We're talking about it's still kind of generally what we're talking about because we're talking about going to the grocery store and getting items right now. Because right now, if you're whatever community you're in, I've been hearing it all over. The cupboards are bare, the shelves are bare, everything's going by the wayside because everyone's stocking up because of the panic that's been ensued by the national media over this whole thing. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna fall into the hype of the media saying, "Oh my God, the Chicken Little sky's falling,"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folks, it's out there. And most people I talk to have enough common sense to know, hey, it's out there. But you know what? I'm not going to panic. You got to live your life.
It's out there, but it's not as bad as
They're making
what
it
it's
to be.
being
Yeah.
painted.
They're painting see, the doom and gloom is what sells for them.
Yeah.
It's all about the almighty dollar. The doom and gloom sells, so people are gonna, they're gonna get their advertising revenue, and they're gonna get their bang for their buck and just blow this thing
That's what
up.
I cannot stand about today's society. Like
Today's media, it's media driven.
media, like the negativity sells.
Yeah.
If you like,
Bad news sells more than good news does.
that's why they do. If they can find like a heartwarming story, they
Well,
throw it in
either-
right at the end.
Right,
of
they throw a
the-
little puff piece in at the end to kind of
Yeah.
like, hey, say we can still report some good news, but
Hey, this is a time filler because we.
we're out of bad news. Let's talk about
Yeah.
for the day. Well, they got plenty right now. I mean, that's all they're talking about in the news. The thing is, folks, make yourselves aware, get informed, read. The one true place to get real information is from the CDC.
Yep.
Go to the CDC website and get the daily updates on what's going on with COVID-19, the coronavirus. You want to tune into the national media, they're going to sensationalize it. You want to get the real scoop, go right to the CDC. Matter of fact, just about every coronavirus video on YouTube has a little thing with the CDC popped up on it. And get your news from the CDC right there. I'm willing to bet within a day, our video will have it on it too because we're talking about it. Because get your real news from the CDC.
I saw something and I kind of laughed because, as far as I know, there was no talk about her possibly having it, but I saw a headline: Betty White confirms she doesn't have the coronavirus.
Yeah, I saw that
Betty White's
yesterday.
okay.
Yeah, a spokesperson for Betty White stated yesterday that Betty is just fine. So, and that's good. I mean, she's probably staying in, and she's being smart about it. And I have an aunt. She's 78, and she's been wanting to I want to go to the grocery store. You're not going out right now. So let's just play it safe. Let's err on the side of caution. Just stay in. I'm not going to take you out in this because you never know. I mean, at your age, and that's who it is. It's the elderly. It's the people with, because she has a heart condition. She's susceptible as hell. So don't even bother going out. Don't even bother going out.
Nursing home because nursing homes are now starting to tell people, I'm sorry, there's no visiting your relative.
Yep. Now
because we have to ensure their safety.
Yep. I have a cousin who's in a nursing home getting some rehab up the road. He recovering from a stroke. And he posted on his Facebook, and he says, I know why, but I'm upset. I can't have any visitors, and it's for the foreseeable future. They don't know when they're going to lift it. No idea.
Yep.
I mean, they're not allowing any visitors. So I feel bad for the folks. I feel bad for the folks in the nursing homes right now.
Yeah.
I really do because
there is someone I know whose father is in a nursing home who is not in the greatest shape as it is.
Right.
And one of the patients there actually was confirmed to have the coronavirus.
Oh,
so
my
they're not
God.
letting nobody in.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
Staff.
Yeah. And I feel bad for those folks because, they depend on, their one little glimmer of hope some days is seeing a relative coming in, whether it's, once a day or once every other day or a couple times a week or once a week, whatever their little glimmer is, they have, that they still, hey, I'm still here, and there's a lot of folks like that, and then now their visitation's taken away. Fortunately, they have their phones and they're so, some of them are still able to get on their computers that know how to work a computer, can still communicate with the outside world, but there's some folks that aren't and are in bad shape and they don't get to see their relatives for however many weeks or months ahead, and that's sad. And we understand why, but at the same time, you're taking their little bit of liberties away, and that's pissing me off about this whole thing going on. But we are approaching 9 o'clock. We got one more hour to go, and we're going to be back with, we're going to play something here. It gives actually some very helpful understanding of what the coronavirus is and what COVID-19 is. It's about a 10 or 12 minute thing. It's like a informational piece, and it's educational piece that we're going to play for you that I found, and it discusses what the disease is, how it contracted, how to kind of deal with it, and what it's all about, and how it came to be. So we're gonna play that, and we're gonna come back, and we'll do one more hour with everybody, and we'll be here to take your calls. Some kind of radio show here live on YouTube, and if you're listening on Tuesday, the Cuyahoga Valley Radio Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys. Maybe. There we go. Be right back.
By now, you've probably heard of COVID-19, or coronavirus disease discovered in 2019, which is responsible for a global pandemic. Thus far, the main country affected has been China, but it spread to a number of other countries around the world to a varying degree. The virus was initially referred to as the 2019 nCoV, or the 2019 novel coronavirus, and was informally called the Wuhan coronavirus. The World Health Organization named the disease COVID-19 because it doesn't refer to a geographical location, an animal, a person, or a group of people, all of which can lead to stigma. They also wanted to make it pronounceable and related to the disease, which is not an easy task. The virus was officially named SARS-CoV-2, or Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, because it's genetically very similar to the SARS coronavirus, which was responsible for, well, the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, or SARS outbreak in 2002. So, SARS-CoV-2 causes COVID-19. Now, coronaviruses that circulate among humans are typically benign, and they cause about a quarter of all common cold illnesses. But occasionally, coronaviruses that circulate in an animal reservoir mutate just enough to where they're able to start infecting and causing disease in humans, if they're given an opportunity. In 2002, SARS was a coronavirus that hopped over from bats to civets, which is a cat-like mammal, and then over to humans. And in 2012, there was MERS, which was a coronavirus that hopped over from bats to camels a few decades ago, and then circulated among camels for quite some time before eventually infecting humans. COVID-19 most likely also started with bats, but this time the intermediate host was probably a pangolin, an animal that looks like a cross between an anteater and an armadillo. That's based on the fact that scientists identified a coronavirus in pangolins that's a 96% genetic match to SARS-CoV-2. Sadly, pangolins are heavily trafficked around the planet, largely because people believe that their scales have healing properties. And because they're moved around the world rather than just left in the wild, there are ample opportunities for a coronavirus to go from a pangolin to a human. As of February 11th, 2020, there have been 43,103 cases of COVID-19 and 1,018 deaths, with a fatality rate of 2.4%, according to the World Health Organization. The vast majority of cases and deaths have occurred in China. For a little perspective, the 2002 SARS outbreak resulted in 8,098 cases and 774 deaths, so the fatality rate was around 9.6%. And the 2012 MERS outbreak resulted in 2,494 cases and 858 deaths, bringing the fatality rate to 34%. Finally, for the 2014 Ebola outbreak, which was granted not due to a coronavirus, there were 28,639 cases and 11,316 deaths. The fatality rate was a whopping 40%. At a microscopic level, coronaviruses are single-strand positive-sense RNA viruses with protein spikes on their surface that look a little bit like a crown under a microscope. In fact, corona is Latin for crown. Besides just looking majestic, these spikes allow the virus to invade cells lining the respiratory tract and lungs. After binding, the coronavirus enters and takes over the cellular machinery to make more and more copies of itself so it can spread to the surrounding cells and get into the mucus. Sometimes the infection is mild, and some people don't develop any symptoms at all. For others, they can develop symptoms that range from pretty mild, like fever, cough, and shortness of breath, all the way to serious problems like pneumonia. Severe lung damage can cause acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS, which occurs when the lung inflammation is so severe that fluid builds up around and within the lungs. The severe infection can cause septic shock, which happens when the blood pressure falls dramatically and the body's organs are starved for oxygen. ARDS and shock are the main cause of death for people with the infection, and this is more likely to occur in those over the age of 60, smokers, and people with previous medical conditions like hypertension. In addition to causing disease, coronaviruses can spread quickly. Usually the virus spreads when people cough or sneeze, and tiny droplets containing the virus are released. These droplets can land on another person's mouth, nose, or eyes, and that allows the virus to enter a new person. The virus can also be found in a person's stool, and in rare situations, coronavirus has been transmitted from one apartment to another within a residential building. This was also seen in the 2002 SARS epidemic. At that time, faulty plumbing allowed virus-containing fecal matter originating from one person's apartment to drift from drainage pipes back into fixtures like sinks and toilets within other apartments in the same building. Not only did this create a terrible smell, but it also allowed the virus-containing droplets to deposit on bathroom surfaces, ultimately causing people in those apartments to get ill. Something similar may have happened with COVID-19, and this is being actively investigated. Once a person is infected, symptoms develop an average of 5 days later. This is called the incubation period. However, the incubation period varies from person to person, and in some studies, it's lasted as long as 24 days. Now, there's debate about whether or not asymptomatic people can spread the disease because these people typically have low levels of circulating virus. But even if they do, asymptomatic transmission likely plays a minor role in the overall epidemic. Viruses are given a reproductive number, or R0, based on how quickly they spread, and person-to-person transmission has been confirmed both in and outside of China. An R0 of 1 means that an infected person passes it on to one new person. An R0 of 2 means that one person spreads it to 2 new people, and so forth. If the R0 is below 1, the infection peters out. If it's 1, it stays steady. And if it's above 1, then it continues to spread. The current estimate of the SARS-CoV-2 R0 is between 2 and 2.5. Of course, that's an average, with some spreading the disease less, and others, called super spreaders, spreading the disease at a much, much higher rate. The exact cause of these super spreaders is unclear. Perhaps they're just in contact with more folks. Perhaps their bodies naturally shed more virus, or perhaps there's some other reason altogether. To confirm the diagnosis, there should be a real-time polymerase chain reaction, or RT-PCR test, which is a quick test used in many labs and hospitals that can detect very small amounts of viral RNA. Treatment is focused on supportive care, providing fluids, oxygen, and ventilatory support for really ill people. There's also some early data showing that 3 medications are highly effective against SARS-CoV-2 in the laboratory setting. These medications are chloroquine, an anti-malarial drug, ritonavir, an anti-HIV medication, and remdesivir, an antiviral drug previously used against Ebola. Remdesivir was given to the first U.S. patient with COVID-19 on day 11 of his illness as he was clinically worsening, and he began to improve the very next day. Large-scale clinical trials using remdesivir are already underway in China. Unfortunately, there's no vaccine currently available to protect against COVID-19. At best, it looks like a vaccine will be many months away. So, for now, the goal is to avoid human-to-human transmission, starting with isolating people with COVID-19. Coronaviruses don't usually spread over long distances in the air, but they can travel roughly 3 feet, or 1 meter, from one person to another on tiny droplets of saliva, which are produced when someone's coughing or sneezing. In addition, some strains of coronavirus can survive on surfaces for over a day. With that in mind, if you're a healthy person living in a non-outbreak area, the recommendation is to avoid travel to disease outbreak areas, generally stay away from crowded places, and stay at least 6 feet or 2 meters away from anyone with symptoms. wearing a surgical mask is not recommended because the general risk of getting COVID-19 in these settings is so low. As always, careful hand washing is the key, and it should be done with soap or alcohol-based hand sanitizers and scrubbing. Also, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. This area is known as your T-zone, and it's a common entry point for viruses into the body. For healthcare workers who are around people with COVID-19, the recommendation is to apply droplet and contact precautions. That includes wearing personal protective equipment like a clean, dry surgical mask, gloves, long-sleeved gowns, and eye protection like goggles or a face shield. When performing a procedure that generates aerosol, like tracheal intubation, bronchoscopy, CPR, or non-invasive ventilation, it's important to wear an N95 respirator. This prevents 95% of the small particles, like respiratory droplets, from passing through. Alright, as a quick recap. The SARS-CoV-2 virus causes a respiratory disease called COVID-19. The virus probably originated from bats, and then went to pangolins as an intermediate host, and finally to humans. The virus travels in respiratory droplets and enters the body via the mouth, nose, or eyes. Once inside the body, it replicates in the respiratory system, causing symptoms like fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Some people might develop more dangerous complications like pneumonia, ARDS, and shock. Treatments are focused on supportive care, but certain medications like remdesivir are currently in clinical trials. In the meantime, the best strategy is prevention. This includes careful hand washing, avoiding traveling to disease outbreak areas and crowded places when possible, avoid touching your T-zone, and, if you're a healthcare worker, using personal protective equipment.
You are tuned into the Some Kind of Radio Show. Call now at 234-200-5110. Now, back to Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
All right, final hour tonight. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 234-250-110. We're live until 10 o'clock tonight. Special start time tonight. We went 7 to 10. Actually, we weren't even supposed to be on tonight.
Nope.
This is our off week since this show now runs as a bi-weekly program. Yeah, Some Kind of Radio Show is now a bi-weekly show, and for the foreseeable future, we are not weekly every Friday anymore. We are doing bi-weekly. This is a one-off show that we're doing a special show tonight discussing the COVID-19 coronavirus, discussing how it affects you, how it's affecting the community. I would love to hear from you. Sanity, yeah, absolutely. I know sanity for sure.
Because you gotta think, it's just like, we were talking when we started the program. It's just like you walk in and what the hell does toilet paper have to do with the virus?
Yeah, I don't know. Victoria posted a couple things on the chat here.
Okay.
In fact, Victoria's calling back. As a matter of fact, we got another call. Let's take a call here. Good evening. You're on the air with us. Hello. I know that voice. I know that voice.
You know this voice?
I know that
What
voice.
You don't know this voice. I'm a complete stranger.
No, Eric next to me is.
Boy, am I ever strange.
Eric
Yes, you are.
Eric next to me is the anonymous caller to other radio stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we call Eric Anon for short?
Anon.
Anon. Anon. I like it.
Anonarone.
Anonarone. Pat Morrow.
Hi,
Hey,
Pat.
guys, it's been a long time.
It's been a long
Yeah.
time. Pat Morrow is the owner of the Crooked River Radio Network. How is things with you, Pat?
Not doing too bad. How about you?
Oh, just
Don't want our paper hanger here.
yeah, just decided to. I was going to do I decided last minute last night. Hey, this is supposed to be our off week because I'm doing the show bi-weekly now. It's like, this is supposed to be our off week.
That's cool.
And all this stuff with the coronavirus. Hey guys, let's do a show tonight. Let's do a serious topic. Let's go 7 to 10 tonight. Just kind of a special time, and see if we can.
Let me tell you, I've had a real experience with this blasted virus.
Yeah, tell us about it,
And
Pat.
the stuff that it's causing as far as any public service events or stuff like that.
Yeah.
There is a couple of things. I've been listening to you guys pretty much since the beginning, and what I know about this, you were talking about the school lunches and stuff.
Yes.
According to Governor DeWine, that program is going to continue, but they're not sure how they're going to deliver the food.
Right.
I just heard that this afternoon. This evolved extremely quickly.
Very quickly. Very
Monday
quickly.
afternoon, I had a ham fest. You guys know I'm a ham radio operator. And all that.
No.
And I'm the president, still the president of the Falls Amateur Radio Club. Well, we had a ham fest. We had one scheduled for April, the Saturday before Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And because Governor DeWine decides that you can't have 100 people in one place, we got canceled.
Right.
Okay, I have a meeting at the Cultural Center up there on 12th Street.
Mm-hmm.
I was I had talked to the people in charge over there, and this morning I get told you don't have a meeting for a month. We're closing for a month.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's.
So I'm out of. And then on top of it, we're doing classes over at the Akron Public Library.
And they're closing.
I get this this Sunday, and then that closes.
Yeah.
For a month.
Right. I mean, it's we're shutting everything down. It's getting.
I think they want to close the whole damn world.
I know they want to shut. It's like, hey, what's next? You know, I mean, everyone's buying food. You know, great, whatever. Buying toilet paper. I mean, everyone's expecting, grocery stores and. I mean, the way it's heading, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting to that point. What's next? Are we declaring martial law next? I mean, what's next? I mean, that's kind of where we're getting.
Well, by this emergency, this national emergency that he declared today.
Yeah.
That Trump declared today, that's going to activate FEMA, which in some respects could activate other emergency response places.
Right.
A couple that I have some dealings with, and I would hate to see it if it gets much worse.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't either. And
I would expect by the time this is over that you could have FEMA actually having housing and stuff like that and running the housing, which is going to take an enormous amount of people if this gets as bad as they think it's going to.
Right.
If they won't just put them in hospitals, they'll put them up in places.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think motels and everything like that.
Right. Start making,
But it'll all be cordoned off.
Impromptu, 6 shoulders basically, and that's
basically, yeah.
It's quarantine shelters basically, and it's getting. I don't know. I mean, Pat, let me get your honest opinion on this. I mean, it's one thing to be proactive. Do you think we're overreacting?
To be quite honest about it, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And everyone I've talked to is thinking the same thing.
I think you're suffering from a lot of overzealous media.
And exactly, and I've been saying that all along. The overzealous media, they're sensationalizing this story. Doom and gloom sells. I mean, that's bottom line. Doom and gloom sells. The true positive, the true journalists out there are there's not so many of them anymore. It's these so-called journalists who, I got a microphone, I got a camera in front of me. I'm gonna spew out what I think. I'm not reporting facts. I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'm going to, we're going to sensationalize this more, and we're going to just scare the shit out of everybody, and we're going to just get everybody all going.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly what they're doing.
They want to be first without facts.
I hate to interrupt, sorry, but breaking news, Channel Fox 8, The confirmed cases in Ohio has risen to 13, 159 waiting test results, and they just announced that Cleveland Clinic UH are teaming up to provide drive-through COVID-19 testing for some patients, starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. for Cleveland Clinic, and on Monday for UH. The testing will be open from 11 to 7 days a week. The testing site is located in the garage of the Walker Building at 10524 Euclid Avenue in Cleveland.
Okay, I see that right now.
What are they doing as far as the Cleveland Clinic in Montrose? Did they mention that one?
No, nothing says
I
that.
saw signs of something going on there, and I had heard they were going to put up a tent.
Yeah, and they're also saying...
It does state, though, that patients without a doctor's order will not be allowed to get testing done there.
Yeah, so you have to be...
Earl, did you happen to catch the congresswoman that grilled that guy from the CDC?
No, I did not.
Wanting him to tell the nation that the testing was going to be free. And I'm telling you, you could see the dollar signs in this dude's eyes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just flat out refused to say it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, from the background, he gets told something, and he says, "Okay, yes, I will say that it will be free."
Yeah. I'm sure that...
What did you say the name was, Laura? Her name, the congresswoman was Katie Porter.
Katie Porter.
If you get a chance, look that up. I believe it's on YouTube.
Okay, I'll check it out.
That is a hell of an article.
Yeah, I'll definitely look that up.
This dude just refused to admit it.
And that's what it's all coming down.
And to say that the testing was going to be free.
Big pharmacy right now is thinking, oh, we're going to be clean. Once we get a vaccine together, once we get some kind of treatment, we're going to be raking it in. Here we go.
We're going to clean house.
They're kind of rubbing their hands together going, oh, yeah, show me the money. That's exactly what they're saying right now. And and it's a shame. That's what is coming.
Right.
And it's a shame. That's what this country and this world has come to. It's all about the almighty dollar. Hands down. It's all about the almighty dollar. The money's not in the treatment.
Exactly
money's not in the cure. The money's in the medicine. And that's just like any disease. Now they got a new one they can go after and go, hey, let's see if we can get some, in another year, I'm sure, in a year's time, I'm sure they'll have some kind of a treatment or a vaccine available. It's going to take a year because they got to develop enough basically dead coronavirus to get a vaccine made. Just like the flu virus, they got to have enough.
No, I think they already have one that they're.
Well, they're tested. They're getting ready to test it, but it's not gonna cure it. All you can do is it's as a probable preventative. But they ain't gonna be able to cure this thing. I mean, they can't cure the flu now. They can't cure the common cold. They're not gonna be able to cure the coronavirus.
No, there's never gonna be a vaccine to cure it.
No,
there could be a preventative, but not. And even a preventative, there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee because it's like the flu. And I don't know how in the last how many years. And Pat, I'm sure you'll get this too. How many years now in a row have they released the flu virus, the flu vaccine, and it has not matched up? I mean, how many years now in a row?
That flu that is exactly why I would never take that damn flu vaccine.
Yeah, I mean,
that is a projection of what they think is going to happen, and it's never even close.
It's never close. Now, I get it every year. Like I said, I'm an asthmatic. I am prone to developing the flu and things. So I get it as a preventative. I've been lucky the last 3 years. The last couple of years. The 1 year I didn't get it, I got the flu so bad I was in the hospital. So, I mean, I get it just because it's a preventative. It doesn't stop it. I mean, I've had a little case of the flu this year, but it wasn't really that bad. It didn't even keep me down. I didn't even miss a day of work with the flu. I just went to work. I mean, I was fine. I mean, I didn't care. I'm like, I got to work. I'm fine. I may feel like crap, but I'm going to go continue about my business, But, this whole thing, everyone's saying, everyone's thinking it's going to kill them the minute they get it. And that's what the media is trying to say. Oh, you're going to die when you get this. No, I mean,
that's exactly right.
And right now, most cases you read, they're mild. Yes, there's been deaths. But how many deaths do you get from the flu every year?
There was a statistic that I heard that if you're over 60 years old, your chance, if you get it, your chances are 1 in 100 of dying from it.
Right.
If you're 80 years or older,
Yeah.
then your chances increase to 15%.
That number goes up 15%. I heard that too. And, that's a chance with anything, even like the flu, any of these diseases like that. If you don't treat it quick enough, and that's the key, getting appropriate, quick treatment. It's the ones that let it go and not knowing what's going on. And that's the ones that die, especially with the flu.
That's exactly.
And it's the ones that don't seek treatment. It's not that they don't want to seek treatment. There's a lot of people in this country that can't seek treatment. There's a lot of people in this country that can't get insurance. There's a lot of people in this country that cannot afford a copay. It's sad, but it's true. They can't. I'm lucky. I'm one of the fortunate people that can't afford my copays.
Yeah.
I am very fortunate. I have medical insurance. I'm one of the fortunate ones. I can do that. But not everybody in this country can. Then you got to think about, there's the homeless out there that's going to get this. They're not going to be able to get treatment. I mean, no one's even really talked about the homeless out there.
Nope.
They're going to, and they're going to really be susceptible to this. And there's a lot of homeless people out there. A lot of homeless people here in Summit County. No one's talked about
go
the.
By the
yeah.
The Haven
go by
Arrest.
that place down there on Market Street.
The Haven Arrest.
You'll see all kinds of it there.
All
Haven Arrest.
all over the place. And you know what? No one's even thinking about them folks.
Nope.
No one's even. It's not even been brought up in the news media. They're not even bringing it
They're
up.
too busy trying to close the schools down.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're not talking about the homeless. What about those folks? How are they going to get treated? Do you think they're going to give them a treat? They're going to give them a test? Hell no. Think they're going to treat them? Hell no. And that's sad, but it's true. And that's what this country's come to, because it comes down to money.
And as insensitive as this sounds, but the government looks at them as a nuisance to society more than that we should help them. They're more of a nuisance.
They are
to the
still
government.
citizens of this country.
And that's true.
They might not be tax-paying citizens, but they're still citizens of this country.
Yep.
They have
still have certain inalienable rights.
Absolutely. Yep. You have
no matter where you're from.
No matter where you're from, your race, your creed, whatever. If you're born in this country, no matter what your financial status is, you have certain rights. And and that's the thing, and the government does not acknowledge those rights with people. It's not those from the government, it's the healthcare industry. Because it's all about the almighty dollar.
Yep.
What
would you do? Well, let me phrase this to you.
Okay.
What would you do if tomorrow you found out the secrecy of cancer is that they've had a cure for the last 5 years?
I would be surprised if they
or
did.
The last 20 years, say.
I would go.
And Big Medical just has not let it be released.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be beside myself, because I would be, let's see, in the last 20 years, say they cured 20 years ago, let's see, they could have saved my mother.
My mother.
The amount, the billions of dollars that they've put into the research in that for this stuff and have come up with basically nothing is hard to believe.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing, Pat. You got to remember, doctors, cures don't make a profit. No. Treatments make profits.
Treatments make profits.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Tony. They've taken, these doctors and that, they don't want, if there was a cure, there ain't no doubt in my mind they'd hide it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I've seen things in the past that some of these electric companies and stuff like that there's been these motors that they've put out that, just take the car industry, for instance.
Yep.
Great example.
In the 60s, I knew of a car that was out that would get 65 miles to a gallon with a regular carburetor on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're right.
You know what happened to that? It disappeared.
It went bye-bye because, there's no money in that, because they're not going to buy a new car.
They had an energy efficient motor for refrigerators.
Mm-hmm.
that would have saved everybody about 80% of the money that they put into electricity to run a fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to that?
Bye-bye.
Westinghouse got its hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
General Electric got its hands on it.
Right.
Do you think you ever saw that?
No.
Not going to happen.
No.
I've always been kind of skeptical when it comes to stuff in the government and that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And big business has run this country for way too long.
Well, speaking of the government here, and this is a thought I said earlier in the show, Pat, what is the government not telling us about this virus? What are they not telling us?
That's what I'm scared to death of, Earl.
Yeah, and
I am scared to death of that fact because of what they're doing in order to prepare everybody. This school closing stuff to me is just it is completely unbelievable.
It's ludicrous.
In the words of a guy that's on TAM, Mike Trevisano, he's always said, "I'm living in a world I just truly do not understand."
I don't get it.
And I've said that 4 times this week.
Yeah,
I do not understand this.
I don't understand
When they said that they were going to close the schools for a month, I just could not believe it.
No.
You're going to interrupt kids' education for what?
Well, no, a lot of those schools are doing online stuff. They're taking a week off and doing
my kids.
Online classes.
My kids have got to do a lot of online work. My son, Alex, my autistic son, now he's got to do. He doesn't have any online work to do, but I got to go to the school. I got to go over to his school on Monday morning, and pick up a packet for him to do some home.
Yeah, Blizzard packs.
Yeah,
I've heard about that.
Yeah, and he's got to do. It's for his IEP. He's got to keep his IEP. The mandate for his IEP up. He's got a basically a self-help class, basically everyday living class. Basically, he's got to do some stuff, and then I have to notate all the stuff he does. Yeah, life skills type of class. I got to notate everything he's doing for the next 3 weeks while he's home, and then I got to write it down, fill out this thing, and then when he goes back to school, he's got to take it in, and that's part of his grade. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, great, but then the girls. They got, they got some online work they're going to be doing. They're not getting anything sent to them until Monday online. It's all going to go into their emails because everything's done over email.
How many kids do you think don't have internet?
There's
quite a few.
Quite a few.
What do you think's going to happen with them?
Well, I think they're going to be. You didn't do your work, you flunk or whatever. They'll hold back. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing is just. It's such a. I'm beside myself. It's like you said, Pat. I don't understand this. What's going on in this world right now? I don't get it, and it goes back to the very root of the subject: is what is the government not telling us about this? Why is there so much panic over this? All these other viruses that's happened over the last for how many years? We never we've never shut down sporting events. We've never shut down public events. We've never gotten to the point where, hey, you can't have more than 100 people in a place. But here's the funny thing, Pat, and this is what I mentioned too. But it's okay to have office buildings, churches, and weddings. You can have 500 people there. But a small business, for example, like say where I work, you better not have more than 100 people there. How are you going to police that? How are they going to police this? I want to know. That's something they never said. Are they going to start going around and saying, "Oh, they're going to start shutting your doors if you don't follow this"? Are they imposing fines?
Well, let me pose a question that has been asked to me so far today a couple of times.
All right.
A couple of times I've heard the same question. Not only how are they going to police that, but it's so vague. Does that mean you can have 100 people in a building, say the size of a small school? Or does that mean that does that same rule apply to having 100 people in one room?
Right. That's the thing. They're even talking about, any confined space. Well, what's the confined space? I mean, what if it's the size of a warehouse? Can you have 100 people in there? I mean, I don't, it's so vague. And then it's like, okay, great. Very vague explanation. And then, okay, hey, Governor DeWine, how are you going to enforce this? Here's what I have to say. Kiss my ass, Governor. How are you going to enforce this? I get it. There's sick people out there. But people, use common sense. If you're not feeling
As
well,
scared as
if you don't,
scared as they've got the American public though now, Earl,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to get 100 people into a room. I'm so scared for the comedy club right now because they've actually went out of their way and said that say that they're open. I'll bet they couldn't fill that room right now.
Well, you know, like where I'm at now, the bowling center. Now, a couple people have called last night, and they asked if we were shutting down the leagues, and we said no. But if you're not feeling well, use your common sense and stay home. If you're feeling fine, come on in. I mean, we don't have 100 people in the league per se. Okay, I mean, we have 16 teams of 5. Okay, so let's see. That's 80 That's 80 people. Okay, plus the staff on hand, maybe a couple. We probably had maybe 95 people in there last night. Okay, so we didn't even violate the 100, but everyone came out. No one even said, "Oh, hey, I'm not." No one batted an eye at it last night.
Yeah, because I know, like Pat, as I heard on the radio this morning, Pete from the comedy club had called in and said he's going to limit his shows to 100, which which is about the capacity of what that club holds anyway.
Right.
It holds roughly around about 100 people. He's going to limit the club to 100 per show to keep with what he has to do. But people are still going to come out for it because.
But the thing is, my whole point of this whole thing with the mandate of the 100 people, it needs to be across the board. You can't tell the churches it's okay to have 200 people in your church, but you can't tell the bowling center down the road they can't have 100 people in there. That's my point. You can't tell one that it's okay to do one thing and not. You can't be selective. If you're going to do it, it's got to be across the board.
Yep.
You can't do it.
I'll tell you what, as far as the Catholic churches and that, they have put out. In fact, I just read a thing from the Diocese of Cleveland this afternoon that said you are specially. They do this thing if they're going to excuse you from Mass, they call it special dispensation. And I got this letter that says you have been granted special dispensation if you don't feel that you should go to Mass for the next 4 weeks. I have never in my life seen that happen, and I've been with the Catholic Church for 65 years.
Right.
Okay, so something I was telling Earl about during break. Okay, so post on Twitter from Governor DeWine. We project we will have 100,000 people at least walking around with COVID-19 in Ohio. What the experts tell us is that the number will double every 6 days.
Yeah, every 6 days. That's what I heard.
So, yeah.
Well, they're afraid that 90% of the population is going to get this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're taking the actions that they are now. But I don't know how they're if it's going to control anything.
Right.
Because you've already got it in this country already.
It's
closing your borders ain't going to do a whole hell of a lot of good.
It's not going to
when you leave England open, who's got more cases than half of the rest of the countries in France or in Europe.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Closing the borders. I mean, it's like the 100 people thing. What's the difference between 100 people and 200 people? I mean, it's
nothing.
That's small potatoes.
Less space in between people.
Yeah, well, but still. I mean, you could go to the grocery stores. I mean, the grocery stores, like we talked about.
Sarcasm, Earl.
I know that. But I know it's sarcasm. But it's the same thing. Like we talked about, people go to the grocery store or whatever. They're in line. They're packed in like sardines, especially right now with trying to buy all this shit up in the stores. So there's no 6 foot. Nope. There's no 6 foot apart from people in the stores.
No.
And that's especially when you're in line at the checkout and you're not 6 foot from your cashier. So guess what? It's common sense. And that's the thing. And that's the one thing that a lot of people lack in this world today. And Pat will agree. Common sense.
Common anything.
Oh, yeah.
Common sense, and you're right, Eric. Common sense and common courtesy. Those two things are just blown out of the water. They're gone.
Yeah.
The word common doesn't exist now.
Well, there's there's common idiots.
Okay, that's accurate. That is accurate.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's just like, I'm sitting there out last night, and I'm like, okay, what's going to be the deal with all these kids in Cat?
Right.
There was a steady flow of people out last night still. They're all in close contact with one another. Bars are going to be busy.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day is going to go on as planned.
I mean,
people are still going to go out and get drunk.
It's still not going to stop people from wanting to live their lives. I mean, most people I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of people in the last 2-3 days. I mean, I probably have talked to hundreds of people in the last 2-3 days. And no joke, and everyone's saying the same thing. I mean, everyone's kind of in the same kind of thought process. Hey, I'm in a free country. I'm not going to live in a bubble. If I'm sick, sure, I'll stay in.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to live my life. And that's what people are telling me. I mean, that's kind of my mantra. If I'm sick, if there's any sign of me getting sick, I'm not going to go spread it. I'll stay in. I'll take off work. I'll stay in the house, and I'll self-isolate. I mean, that's the right thing to do.
Yes.
But if I'm not sick, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to, I'm going to do what I do.
I'm going to go out to eat. I'm going to go see a movie. I'm going to do this.
Right. And I've gone out to eat twice in the last 2 days. I've been to the store. I've been shopping. I've done other things. And I have not really seen any let up of people on the road. I mean, traffic's been busy. People have been on the road. I've gone to stores. There's plenty of people out there. And there's plenty of chances to spread this disease just by people being around and out in public. So I get the isolation. Sure, we're controlling it, but I think it's overkill with some of the mandates. I think it's just
overkill.
Way overkill. And the thing is, the media, and I think it all started the other night. The minute the NBA said they were shutting down, and everything else fell in a suit right behind the NBA. Sure, the March Madness originally was going to be limited to just playing the players, and then as soon as the NBA said, "Oh, we're done," the March Madness went away. All the other, spring training's done. All these things just started falling into place. Since Wednesday night, all this shit's happened. Well, this is shut down. That's shut down. This is shut down. You can't do this. You can't do that. I woke up in America one morning, and the next evening I'm in a dictatorship.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now. And that's my personal opinion. May not be in others, but that's how I feel right now. I don't feel like I'm in a free country right now. Bottom line.
I hate to say it, but I agree with you.
Yeah. Pat's actually agreeing with me. This is the first time in all the years I've known Pat that Pat agrees with me.
Well, I always take a different view of you.
I know that. And we've always had some very good debates. And but that's the thing. I think a lot of, like I said, a lot of the people I've talked to, and I think we've all been kind of in the same thought process. Common sense, and I got a comment here from Dave Mack on our chat. Common sense, beef up your immune system. Virus, come on, bring it on. Let's go. I mean, in most of the cases of this virus are mild. I mean, yeah, there's a percentage out there people are getting really sick and dying, but most cases are mild. I mean, what are you supposed to do? If I get this thing, fine, I get this thing. I'll do what they tell me to do, whatever. But I'm not going to live my life in fear, and that's what.
It's funny too how the shift of the sickness has progressed.
Mm-hmm.
And first they say, "Oh, we're going to close down a school because all the kids are going to get this," and they're carriers and all this other crap.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it shifts to, people between 35 and 49 or 50, 53 are the ones that's actually going to get sick from this, and it could be the worst of it. And then all of a sudden it goes to people, the elderly, 65 and older.
Right. I mean,
and then we go from there to people that are 80, and it's the whole focus of this thing has shifted. And it's another thing that makes you wonder what the hell is actually true.
Right. And because the thing, there's so much information being put out there between the national media and social media, which is so intertwined today. I mean, it's so intertwined. If this thing happened, say, even 10 years ago, I mean, yeah, there was social media then, but not to the extent there is now.
No.
I don't think we'd have the shutdowns like we have now if this was 10 years ago. Because now everybody relies on, social media, the national media. So, again, so intertwined now.
Do you remember the bird flu?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
If this would have happened, if that bird flu would have happened now, there'd be flipping helicopters flying over everybody.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And they had like 6 cases of it in Ohio.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you had to be afraid of getting bit by mosquitoes and all that crap?
Oh, yeah. And it's even worse now because of all the, because you got social media, it's out there. And then you got the national media folks on social media putting out their 2 cents. So it's getting to the point now, well, hey, it's all so intertwined. It's so readily available. It's in your face every moment of the day, 24 hours a day. It's in your face constantly. And then there's so much, quote unquote, facts, which that's not necessarily facts because everyone just spouts off whatever's on their mind. So there's so much misinformation out there. The only true information out there, and I said this earlier in the show, if you want to know what's really going on, go to the CDC website. Read their updates on a daily basis. They will tell you what's going on. Follow the CDC. The CDC is reporting what's going on, daily updates. That's the only real information I'm going to trust is going to the CDC website. I'm not going to get it from Fox News or CNN or anybody because there's so much different shit going on. There's so much different things being said. Like Pat was just saying, great points. Oh, the kids can't get it. Oh, wait, the kids can get it. Oh, wait, now. Oh, the 35 to 50 now. Oh, no, it's 65 and older. They don't know. They don't know.
Nope.
Nobody knows, but there's so much misinformation. Everyone in this day and age, and this is kind of a weak comparison. But just like people post on social media, somebody that died 7 years ago didn't know, and they're sharing it like it's brand new. It's the same thing. Everyone will share any little bit of social media, any little bit of news that's out there, because it must be true. It's on the internet. And that's the thing. People don't fact check today. The average Joe Blow person does not read an article. They read a headline.
Yep.
They don't read an article. They read a headline, and then the headline is what grabs your attention, and the headline may be completely false, but the headline is what gets everyone's attention, and that's what people share, and it could be completely wrong, but people are going to believe it because that's the headline they're reading. They're not reading the article. And that is very true. I'm sorry to say that is what this country comes to. That's what people have come to.
People don't read anymore.
People do not, and you're right, people do not read anymore. They look at a headline, they look at a cliff note, and that's all they look at, and that is the news.
Yep.
Forget the article, forget the whole story, forget this side of the story. They read the damn headline, and that is it.
And then especially, it's even worse on Facebook, they don't consider the source of what they're reading.
No, they don't.
Here would be a good example.
Someone, go ahead, then I'll give you mine.
Okay, Trump cures cancer. Now, there's a big site that I see a lot of people that I know are liberals.
Yeah.
It's called Occupy Democrats.
Okay.
It's on there. Yeah, Trump cures cancer. What the hell was wrong? What the hell did cancer do to anybody? Type of thing.
Right.
And they're going to make it look like it was a bad thing that Trump cured cancer.
Right. It's
a negative thing because they're all Democrats.
Right. So they're gonna bash Trump over it.
Any coincidence that the impeachment failed now, this is happening? I've heard that out of more than one person.
Yeah. But then here's another rough comparison for just a general Joe Blow. It's not a politics person. Okay. A Facebook friend of mine just the other day posted, "Oh my God, I'm so sad." And they read this. They post. It was a post from 5 years ago that John Hot Rod Williams dead.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been dead, 5 years? This guy's didn't even read the story. He read the headline and shared it as like it was brand new news, and he's all sad and bummed out. Everyone's commenting, "Dude, he's been dead for 5 years." That's just proof. People don't read headlines. They don't read stories. They read the fucking headline. So, the coronavirus kills everybody. Oh my God, they're going to share that. Because you know what? It must be true because it's the headline.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just what happens today. And that is what's sad and that's why people get into that's why this country is in such a damn panic right now, is because headlines, social media, it's all intertwined because you got bad journalists, people on social media don't read. It's all intertwined. It's a vicious cycle. It's what's happened to this country, and it's sad, but it's so true, and I hate to say it, but it's true. And that's why I don't recognize this, what's happened in this world today, I don't know. It's got me so irritated. I had hair this morning. It fell out.
It's like Bizarro World from Superman.
It's like Bizarro World. We're in a mirror universe. I don't know. I mean,
I know people on Facebook that believe the Babylon Lee stuff. That's a satire website.
Right.
It's like,
it's like The Onion. The same thing.
Yeah.
People believe The Onion. It's like, good God,
They
folks.
take it as
If it's
serious
on the
news.
internet, it must be true. Because
Donald Trump's an alien from outer space. Here it's on Babylon Lee. Guess what?
It must be true.
They're reading through it like it's a
that
true
must be
article.
true. Oh,
But yeah,
my God.
And it's just, you got to realize, and then especially when stuff comes out of CNN and MSNBC, guess what? It's all left leaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make it's going to make the left look great, and and the right look bad. The same way Fox does makes the right look good, and the left look bad. I hate cable news.
I hate cable news too. I watch very little. I've watched a lot of it more in the last couple days than I have probably in the last 2 or 3 years because of just trying to follow all this. Because I'm keeping up to date because I'm not so much thinking about me. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about I want to be up to date because I'm thinking about work and business and what's going on there. Just wanting to know what's going on, and this has really got my attention. And it's got everybody's attention. This is like the number one story anywhere in the world right now because of this coronavirus. And the thing is, everyone hears something different about it, and so it must be true. So no one knows what to make of it. So everyone's in a panic. The news media started this. I'm sorry. The news media should be wrangled up and all arrested for inciting all this panic in the country. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it. They just wrangle them all up. Throw them away. Because, I'm sorry, all they've incited is terror. They've incited panic and terror, and there's no real information going out other than, we heard this today, so it must be new. I mean, it's just like the whole thing, like a reporter or the lady on Fox News, Tom Hanks got so this thing feels real now because Tom Hanks has it. I'm just so sick of I'm so sick of the national media. It's not even funny.
I heard a thing about that Tom Hanks thing. I read a tweet the other day that said the world we are in a world of hurt when Forrest Gump gets the coronavirus.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what kind of coronavirus you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's sad. I mean, here's the thing, folks. Bottom line, use common sense. And I just read another live chat message here. This is from Dave Mack. In most group samplings, about 4% of the people tested have COVID-19, just as many as the regular flu. So, that's from Dave Mack on our chat. So, and that's the thing. And then all these different numbers are being thrown out, all these different factual numbers. Like I said, if you want to know what's really going on, and I can't state this enough, follow the CDC website. They are updating this thing daily. If you want to know what's going on, follow the CDC. And they do these daily updates. They're letting you know the numbers they have. I think they're going to be the most accurate source for this thing because they're really on top of this disease. So you're going to have this person say this. It's all hearsay. There's so many things that are hearsay. We don't know. It's scary out there, but here's the thing. I know as a person myself, I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to live my life. And if I get sick, I get sick.
Remember how we were just talking about the casinos?
I have just as much chance of going out and getting struck by a car as I get this thing right now. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, Cleveland.com.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio casinos, racinos must shut down or keep customers, workers below a total of 100.
Oh, they'll shut down before they put 100 people in there.
Yeah.
Because they ain't going to be able to control it.
Yeah.
Especially like, the Jack, for example, that's too big of a place. Too many entrances. It'd
Yeah.
be too hard to keep control of 100 people and see what they got. Plus,
Yep.
how many workers they have there.
There again, the question is 100 people in a group or 100 people in a building.
Right, and that's the thing. You don't know. I mean, that goes back to the whole thing. It just doesn't make, there's no clarification on it. It's just, we're gonna band it down to 100 people in any type of a group meeting. Okay, well, how big is the place got to be? I mean,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame closing for at least 2 weeks.
right.
So,
we're shutting the whole country down. I mean, there's nothing, there's just nothing to do. But, here's the other thought. I want to finish this out. We have 5 minutes left in the show. I think this is going to be the next big baby boom.
Yep.
Right here and now. Because you know what? People are going to have anything to do. What else are they going to have to do? Well, might as well eat, sleep, and fuck. I'm sorry, pardon my language, but that's the truth.
Coronials.
I mean, it's going
The
to...
Corona babies.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to have. We're going to see Corona babies. I think this is going to be the next big baby boom because no one's going to have anything to do. They can't go anywhere. Well, we're not sick, but we can't go anywhere. Let's get it on. And guess what? We're going to see a lot of babies.
On a slightly different note, transitioning.
Eric doesn't know how to follow that one up.
yeah.
No.
But it's the
Just,
truth. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. That's just my
I
opinion.
mean, yeah, but you're probably right. On a slightly different note to something I had brought up earlier about the ABC News reporter that was suspended last year for reporting inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 3 reporters suspended in the last 2 years for inaccurate reporting.
No, inaccurate reporting by the national media. That doesn't happen. No, because all our national reporters now are just upstanding, and they want to get you the facts, folks. No, they want to be the
They're
first.
next in line to be the Pope.
Yeah.
But for one outlet to be that, have that many people suspended for inaccurate reporting, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And that problem needs to be fixed.
Yes, I agree. Oh, I'll tell you what, it does. I mean, this is, you know how many people slam Donald Trump for saying fake news, you know. Oh, he's just mad because he's not wrong. I mean, I'm not going to, he's not wrong. I mean, there's so much fake news because that's the thing. There's so much truth in this. I'm surprised he hasn't sounded off any fake news thing over this whole thing because this one's reporting this reporting that. You don't know what's true and what's not.
I mean, there was a reporter from ABC suspended for falsely inaccurately reporting stuff on Kobe Bryant's death.
Oh yeah, well TMZ was how about TMZ? Hell, they were Kobe Bryant's death. Oh, hell, they were reporting he was dead before his family got notified.
Well, they should get sued, and that person who released it to TMZ should also get sued.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Pat.
Let me make one comment. I know you got to wrap things up here. I heard this morning that the way this coronavirus supposedly started was actually in China.
Right.
And what had happened, the guy that got infected was working in a laboratory over there on some sort of a disease that ended up spawning into this. He was not careful, and he ended up getting infected with it, and that's how it all started.
That's what I heard too. I heard that same thing.
Yep.
And then he died. And the guy died. The doctor died. I remember seeing that story. And he tweeted every day until it got him bad. Oh man, and that's really, if you think about it, that started the whole panic, and then it just got more and more. Now oh my God, people are dying. And real quick before we go, again, comments here on the live chat. 10 out of 11 people died from coronavirus. Big scare headline. It was in a nursing home in Washington. They were 75 to 80 years old and rather sick to begin with. So, and that's again, big news, keyword, headline. The headline on social media, and of course, social media gets picked up by the national media because the national media monitors social media, and they will report whatever they see. They don't fact check anymore. They just report it because they want to be the first to report it and get it out there. And you know what? Let's scare the shit out of America. And I think that's a great way to end the show.
Agreed.
Oh, man. Pat, thank you for calling in, my friend. It was great talking to you, and we definitely
It's great hearing from you, too.
got to do this again here real soon. And Victoria.
One of these days, I'll have to pick your show up.
Yeah, I want you to pick our show up. So, yeah, I got a whole bunch here I can give you. So whenever you want it, just let me know.
All right, we'll talk. I'll try to give you a call when I get a minute here.
No worries. I'm going to pack this thing up, and I got to get to bed. I got to work in the morning. So, but all right, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. This has been a very enlightening show, very different show for us.
Yes.
Than we normally do. Definitely a chance for me to kind of get some things off my chest and kind of say what I feel right now. And you know, this was a good show. I mean, this is the kind of show I kind of enjoy doing from time to time, is get on a topic like this and where we can talk about it. I don't get much opportunity to talk about.
I've missed you guys.
Yeah, man, this has been a fun one. And but we will be back. We're going to be as long as everyone's well. That's the key words.
Should be.
We plan on being here next Friday go back to our normal programming, and we may, if this is still going on, we may talk more about this as we go on next week too, because next week's show will be the show about nothing, as what the show normally is. So we're going to get on out of here. I thank everybody for tuning in here live on our YouTube channel, and of course on our current streaming home, the Cuyahoga Valley Radio Network. And we'll see everybody as soon as we get back, whenever that. We hopefully be here next week, so we'll see what's going on. Earl McCune for Tony the Comedy Killer and Eric Nanneroni. We're out of here. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.
See you.
See ya.